Chapter 392. Using the god's spiritual eye's extreme vision, Zhao Feng slowly pulled away from the Black Cliff Palace. In terms of vision, no one could beat Zhao Feng, including the Black Demon Crow from the Black Cliff Palace. However, in the Purple Saint Ruins, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye was restricted and it became harder after 200 miles. On the way, Zhao Feng was extremely careful. The danger wasn't just limited to the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace. There were also the geniuses of other sects and the ruins itself. Zhao Feng passed 400 to 500 miles in one breath and finally found a quiet place. I'll first raise my cultivation. With the lightning bone and water heart pulse of the Blackpool crocodile, it'll be much smoother. Zhao Feng walked into a hidden cave. In the dangerous Purple Saint Ruins, there was no one to protect him. Going into seclusion was undoubtedly a very dangerous thing. At this time, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye's learning ability came into play. He was proficient in arrays and used the materials he had to set up an alarm array within a few miles. Even then, Zhao Feng would leave a sliver of his consciousness in the outside world when he cultivated. Zhao Feng sat cross-legged and took out the lightning bones of the Blackpool crocodile. There were dozens of bones that were intertwined with each other and they flashed with dark lightning. The lightning bone was the core part of the Blackpool crocodile's body that stored the power of lightning. Not only did it contain the essence of lightning, it also contained the laws of lightning. In terms of value, this lightning bone was even more valuable than the lightning mystic stone that Xiao Yufei had given him. Zhao Feng sat cross-legged and placed his hands on the lightning bone. He closed his eyes and a sizzle of lightning chi of true spirit appeared in his palms. As time went on, Zhao Feng's body flashed with lightning and his connection with the lightning yuan chi of heaven and earth became stronger and stronger until it seemed to resonate with him. With a thought, Zhao Feng could absorb several times more lightning yuan chi than before. This was a level that only those at the true Lord rank could reach. Unknowingly, the benefits and insights brought to Zhao Feng by the sky-piercing shadow were merging with his entire body. My mental energy level has reached the true Lord rank. A smile surfaced on Zhao Feng's face. He tried even harder to absorb the lightning essence of the giant crocodile electric bone. His mind and consciousness tried to understand the lightning power Upanishads inside. Due to his high cultivation, Zhao Feng's cultivation speed was extremely fast. The lightning yuan qi in the outside world quickly entered his body and refined his qi of true spirit. It had only been half a day. Zhao Feng's cultivation easily reached the early stages of the true mystic rank. After all, his cultivation was close to the early stages of the true mystic rank back in the sacred true dragon gathering. At this time, only half of the lightning essence of the giant crocodile electric bone had been absorbed. The higher my mental energy level, the stronger the eye of illusion, eye of heart and eye of ice soul. However, the lightning fire god's eye's power can only increase a little and depends on the quality of my true spirit lightning flame. Zhao Feng thought. The remaining half of the lightning essence of the giant crocodile electric bone as well as the water heart pulse could still stabilize Zhao Feng's cultivation. Adding on the mental energy level of the true Lord rank, he had a 40 to 50% chance of reaching the late stages of the true mystic rank in half a day. However, Zhao Feng gave up after thinking about it. Firstly, the Purple Saint Ruins was filled with danger and geniuses from the outside world might come and interrupt his cultivation. Half a month's time was long and there were too many things that could happen. Zhao Feng could use this time to explore the ruins and find other fortune. Secondly, the quick increase in cultivation wasn't good for the foundation. From the early stages to the late stages of the true mystic rank, the increase in strength wasn't huge. I might as well use the remaining half of the lightning essence of the giant crocodile electric bone to refine my true spirit lightning flame. On the other hand, the Darkwada heart meridian is used to strengthen the meridians in the entire body, consolidate the foundation of one's cultivation, strengthen the body, and establish a solid foundation for future advancement. Zhao Feng had sharp foresight when it came to the critical moment. If he did this, not only would Zhao Feng's strength increase, it would also strengthen his foundation and body. The next day, Zhao Feng used the lightning essence of the giant crocodile electric bone to refine his true spirit lightning flame. His true spirit lightning flame was gradually becoming stronger, and its destructive power had increased. Zhao Feng was certain that his lightning fire god's eye would increase in power. The reason he chose to upgrade his lightning fire god's eye was because it countered the wicked path's corpses and ghosts. If Zhao Feng met the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace, he would have more confidence. Crack! The giant crocodile electric bone shattered and fell to the ground. Zhao Feng closed his eyes and comprehended the laws of lightning from the giant crocodile electric bone. With the lightning inheritance merging with the mystic flower treasured Bible, the lightning mystic stone and the pure laws of lightning from the giant crocodile electric bone, Zhao Feng's skill had long since surpassed the limit. Furthermore, the sky-transferring figure had opened Zhao Feng's eyes. His intent, mental energy level, secret techniques, and other aspects had all increased. Within his mind, the 3 floors of the lightning inheritance were all bright and translucent. There were even traces of intricate electric patterns on the surface. I've comprehended most of the lightning inheritance and I've merged many other things into it. When Zhao Feng opened his eyes, a lightning mystic flower appeared on his forehead and glowed with a bright azure light. To comprehend the lightning inheritance to this level usually required one to be at the late stages of the true Lord rank. On the other hand, Zhao Feng was only at the early stages of the true mystic rank but had the mental energy level of the true Lord rank. It's about time. Zhao Feng slowly stopped and ate the dark water heart pulse of the Blackpool giant crocodile. Zhao Feng had seen how strong the Blackpool giant crocodile's body was. It took 4 geniuses of the Wind Snow Pavilion half a day to kill it. If the Blackpool giant crocodile was faster, they probably wouldn't have been able to do anything. The dark water heart pulse was the core of the Blackpool giant crocodile's body. Eating it could strengthen one's body and meridians. Without hesitation, Zhao Feng split the translucent black heart pulse into 3 parts and ate it 3 times. The main reason he did this was because he was worried that the energy would be too strong. Before Zhao Feng reached the ascended realm, he had trained his body and endured a lot of pain. However, the energy of the dark water heart pulse was gentler than he had imagined, and after entering his body, it gave off a cold and gentle power. While eating it, Zhao Feng felt his meridians, blood, and flesh become more resilient and even his bones become stronger. Just by eating the first part, Zhao Feng's body's strength increased dramatically and his meridians and dantian were all opened up. Not bad, not bad. Zhao Feng circulated his qi of true spirit, and after his meridians were opened up, it became smoother and increased his cultivation efficiency. Because Zhao Feng wasn't a body cultivator, his foundation wasn't high and the effect of the dark water heart pulse was great. If it was someone like Shi Qingtian, there wouldn't be much of an increase. The strengthening of his meridians, dantian, and bones allowed Zhao Feng to unleash more potential. After eating the 3 parts of the dark water heart pulse, not only did Zhao Feng's meridians increase, even his cultivation increased. More importantly, Zhao Feng's foundation in cultivation was very stable. Using this foundation as a foundation to further cultivate was extremely efficient. With one punch, Zhao Feng's powerful body could kill those at the true human rank. After using the giant crocodile lightning bone and dark water heart pulse, Zhao Feng closed his eyes and decided to comprehend for half a day. 2 hours later. Zhao Feng suddenly realized that one of the alarms he had set up had sensed something and was being transmitted over. Shwa! Leaving behind a dark azure figure, Zhao Feng disappeared from the cave. At the same time, 2 miles away, 3 dark figures were slowly approaching Zhao Feng's cave. The one at the front was a man with black chains wrapped around his arms. His entire body was withered like a human skeleton and his eyes were sunken in with a hint of red in them. On his left and right stood a man and a woman. The former was a bulky man holding a heavy black saw blade and the latter was a cold girl holding a black lotus with a black snake under her feet. When these 3 walked together, they gave off a dark, bloody and cold aura. No matter how one looked at it, they didn't look like righteous people. How did the people from the Black Cliff Palace find me? Zhao Feng's expression changed slightly. His path of retreat didn't have any pattern, and he even purposely passed through some dangerous places to prevent others from catching up. The leader of the three had reached the peak true mystic rank, and his aura was even stronger than the eagle-eyed man from before. The man with the saw blade and the girl with the black lotus were both at the late stages of the true mystic rank and were definitely stronger than Goddess Bingwei and Tantai Lanue. Have we arrived? A measly youth at the early stages of the true mystic rank. Sending out the wicked teeth group is overkill. The man with the saw blade complained. The black snake under the girl with the black lotus spat its tongue towards the cave Zhao Feng was in. This snake specializes in tracking and followed my aura all the way here. But how did the Black Cliff Palace find the source of my aura? Zhao Feng understood the reason but was puzzled. At this point in time, the wicked teeth group quickly closed in on the cave Zhao Feng was in, and three spiritual senses instantly locked the area. The three of them were surprised. There was no one in the cave. There was no one in the cave, but there was still warmth and dense lightning yuan qi. There was even dust from footsteps. From these they could confirm that the person in the cave had just left. They definitely haven't gone far. They should be nearby. The leader of the skeleton-chained men had a frightening redness in his dark eyes. Not good. The three were just about to split up and search when the sound of lightning came from behind them, followed by dense lightning yuan qi. The air was heavy and oppressive, as if a storm was about to arrive. Ice lightning raging dragon. Thunder and lightning roared, bringing with it a soul-piercing cold storm. It surged from behind, and the faint roar of a dragon could be heard. In an instant, a violent light dragon made of interweaving ice and lightning streaked across the sky, raising everything within a radius of 1,000 feet to the ground. Boom! The wicked teeth group didn't even see the figure behind them before they were sent flying by the ice lightning raging dragon. They could only barely use their secret techniques and couldn't dodge in time. Boom! 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 The three figures were all sent flying, leaving behind a dragon-shaped ravine. The ground was scorched black, and black smoke rose. The cave that Zhao Feng had been in before no longer existed. The area was covered in dust. Chapter 393. Between the mountains, dust billowed, accompanied by waves of black smoke, shrouding the area. The evil teeth trio were suddenly attacked from behind, and were sent flying. Whoosh! 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 The three figures roared in anger as they flew through the air, landing in three different directions in the dust area. Wah! The jagged blade man and the black lotus girl immediately spat out blood, heavily injured. The moment they landed, they couldn't stand straight. The black lotus girl with the weakest defense knelt on the ground, her face pale, her eyes red as she cried, "Little black poison." The black snake under her feet was smashed into pieces by the ice thunder raging dragon's attack. The black lotus girl's face was cold as she stared hatefully at the blue-haired figure in the dust. Of the wicked teeth trio, only the skeleton man wasn't heavily injured, but there were a few burn marks on his body, his expression ugly. This sneak attack is not bad. These three people's reaction speed and strength are stronger than I expected. Zhao Feng nodded his head in satisfaction. When he saw the wicked teeth trio approaching, Zhao Feng's first reaction wasn't to run, but to ambush. The aura in the cave was very obvious. He had purposely done it to lure the fish. Therefore, this scene happened. The wicked teeth trio was successfully sneak attacked by Zhao Feng from behind. But what surprised Zhao Feng was that the destructive attack of the ice thunder raging dragon didn't kill a single one of them. Sly bastard, you dare sneak attack us, the wicked teeth trio. Bastard! You killed my little black poison. I will skin you, eat your flesh, and refine you into a ghost corpse. The jagged blade man and the black lotus girl were furious, their killing intent almost tangible. Especially the black lotus girl, her face was twisted, white as paper, cold and sinister, like a female ghost that had died a wrongful death, sending chills down one's spine. But the two were heavily injured, and had no strength to quickly counterattack. Brat, you must be tired of living, not running when you see us, but sneak attack instead. The chained skeleton man smiled sinisterly, and the chains on his arms clanked. Zhao Feng was in the center of the black smoke and dust, feeling a little uneasy. In terms of strength, each member of the Wicked Teeth trio was stronger than a peerless genius. The current situation was not good for Zhao Feng either. Even though the three of them were sent flying, they landed in a triangular formation, trapping Zhao Feng in the middle. Such reflexes and experience in battle coordination were truly extraordinary. Zhao Feng was originally the one who launched the sneak attack, but now he was surrounded. Then let me experience the strength of these alien geniuses. Zhao Feng didn't have the slightest intention of retreating. His heart was filled with fighting spirit. Voila! The chained skeleton man waved his arms, and a layer of gloomy gray light appeared on the black chains. Woo! The sound was ear-piercing, and it shook one's soul. Whoosh! 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 It was as if there were poisonous metal snakes in the air that radiated a cold aura of death and attacked Zhao Feng from tricky angles. Zhao Feng's figure turned into a series of lightning phantoms, and the metal snakes formed from the chains seemed to have a mind of their own. Even if Zhao Feng dodged them head-on, they would turn around and continue to attack. Boom! Boom! The place where Zhao Feng dodged left behind a bottomless ravine, the rock corroding like it was tofu. The chained skeleton man had limitless strength and was proficient in the Wicked Path's body strengthening. The black chains he waved contained an air of death, and once hit, even those at the True Lord rank would be in trouble. Those below the True Lord rank would be half dead even if their bones weren't crushed. This skeleton man's strength is monstrous. In the Azure Flower continent, probably only Yu Tianhao can fight him. Zhao Feng was moved. If it wasn't for his speed and the god's spiritual eye's control, he might have been suppressed by the skeleton man. When a dazzling flower of ice and lightning appeared in Zhao Feng's palm and instantly blossomed dozens of yards, clashing head-on with the skeleton man for the first time. In a split second, ice and lightning exploded on the iron chain. The chill spread and condensed, and electric arcs splashed everywhere. Zhao Feng's target wasn't the skeleton man himself, but the black chains in his hands. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The surface of the chain that the skeleton man was waving emitted puffs of stinking black smoke, and the chain seemed to have stiffened. The power of lightning countered the Wicked Path's skills, and the power of coldness could freeze metal weapons. Zhao Feng didn't attack the opponent directly, but first weakened the opponent's strength. Why aren't you two helping me? The skeleton man roared, and the chains in his hands weren't as nimble as before, and a numbing feeling spread across his body. The Jagged Blade Man and the Black Lotus Girl were both surprised. Even with the skeleton man's strength, he wasn't able to finish off Zhao Feng. They didn't attack immediately as their injuries had just stabilized, and they were also trying to prevent Zhao Feng from escaping. This was the tacit understanding of the three. However, Zhao Feng didn't have any intentions of running. He fought fiercely with the chained skeleton man and became more and more courageous as time went on. Thief, go to hell! The Jagged Blade Man licked his lips, and the saw in his hand started to vibrate at high speeds, a cold light flying up and down. Chief, the high-speed vibrating saw sliced through the air, creating an ear-piercing sound. Before the attack even arrived, Zhao Feng felt a chill on his skin, as if his body was being sliced into pieces. Of the three, the Jagged Blade Man specialized in attacking and breaking through defenses. His saw vibrated at high speeds, and even Shi Qingtian's turtle shell defense could be sliced open. Zhao Feng's heart went numb. If he was hit by the opponent, he would be in trouble. Shwa shwa shwa. Zhao Feng's body instantly turned into 2 or 3 figures of lightning that confused and dodged the two's attacks. Both the skeleton man's chains and the Jagged Blade Man's saw were extremely hard to deal with. Those under the True Lord rank couldn't take them head-on. And these two freaks were actually in the same group. Then what ability did the last of the Evil Teeth trio, Black Lotus Girl, have? Zhao Feng didn't believe that she was just a support. As expected. The Black Lotus Girl half knelt on the ground and crossed her palms. The Black Lotus in front of her hummed and released a dark light that quickly expanded. In an instant, a black mist covered everything within a mile radius. Being in the black mist, one's senses were greatly restricted, but the skeleton man and the jagged blade man weren't affected at all. Immediately following that, the screams of countless ghosts came from the black mist that pierced through the mental energy dimension. Zhao Feng looked over and saw 4 or 5 human-shaped ghosts with disheveled hair. They radiated a cold aura of death, and they howled as they madly grabbed at him. The people from the Black Cliff Palace have a skill that can control ghosts and ghosts. Under Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eye, these ghosts had nowhere to hide. Ghosts of this level had physical attacks, but they weren't strong. Their focus was on the mental energy dimension and the corrosive air of death that could even devour one's life force. Before, when the Black Cliff Palace killed the 4 from the Wind Snow Pavilion, Zhao Feng had seen the attacks of these ghosts. At that time, the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace didn't attack much and just used ghost corpses to kill the Wind Snow Pavilion group. "Brat! I won't kill you, but I'll torture you to death." The Black Lotus girl's face was as white as paper as she said darkly. These human-shaped ghosts were formed from ghosts and the air of death, and each had the strength of an early-stage true mystic rank. These 4 or 5 human-shaped ghosts meant that Zhao Feng was facing 4 or 5 early-stage true mystic ranks at the same time. Mere ghosts dare to invade? Zhao Feng wasn't afraid at all and even felt the God's spiritual eye jump in joy. Break! Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eye suddenly condensed and released a cold light that stunned the gods and ghosts in the sky. Arg! The ghosts that were formed from the souls of nothingness immediately let out shrill screams, as if they had encountered some kind of nemesis. Sizzle sizzle. The 2 ghosts that bore the brunt of the attack began to emit black smoke from their bodies as they collapsed on the spot, their souls dissipating. The remaining ghosts also trembled in fear and didn't dare to approach Zhao Feng. Some didn't even listen to the Black Lotus girl's commands. Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eye was extremely mysterious and leaned towards the mental energy path. These ghosts couldn't even get close to him. How is this possible? His eye bloodline can counter it. The Black Lotus girl exclaimed in fear. With just one glance from Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eye, normal ghosts were defeated. The Skeletal Man and Chainsaw Man were both stunned. Zhao Feng's movement skill of lightning had reached perfection, and with the Yin Shadow Cloak, he could create illusions. The 2 of them working together were actually unable to pose any real threat to Zhao Feng. Of course, it wouldn't be easy for Zhao Feng to face any one of them head-on. Facing 2 at the same time would most likely be at a disadvantage. From this, one could see the unparalleled battle power of the Skeletal Man and Chainsaw Man. This Skeletal Man has limitless strength and strong defense. He specializes in close combat and trapping the enemy. The Chainsaw Man's movement speed is extraordinary and specializes in breaking through defense. The Black Lotus girl specializes in support and controlling ghosts. Zhao Feng understood the situation of the 3. He hadn't used his full strength in the battle just now and had only used 70% of his bloodline power. He also didn't use any of his 4-eye bloodline techniques. If it's like this, I can finish the 3 of them in 3 moves. While Zhao Feng was figuring out their strengths, he was also seeing through their weaknesses. Right at this moment, the situation changed again. Rotten Bone's secret technique. The Skeletal Man let out a low roar, and a crisp sound came from his skeletal torso. Crack! Crack! His entire body suddenly grew taller and a gray mist surged around him. His power and chi of true spirit had also increased. The chained Skeletal Man's strength was comparable to normal True Lord ranks. Voila! Under the effects of the Rotten Bone's secret technique, the Skeleton Man waved his iron chains. Gray light interweaved and flames rose. Boom! Boom! The ground around him was constantly cracking, corroding, and sinking. Just his strength alone was enough to force Zhao Feng back again and again. Brat, when the Rotten Bone 3 teamed up, we had a glorious record of being able to fight against True Lord ranks. You really don't know how high the heavens are and how thick the earth is. The Chainsaw Man laughed savagely and spat out a mouthful of blood onto the chainsaw. The saw vibrated at high speeds as it tore through the air in pursuit of Zhao Feng. At the same time, the girl with the black lotus who was half kneeling on the ground waved her hand and two green bronze ghost corpses walked out of a black mist. Each of their auras were close to the peak true mystic rank. Chapter 394. At the crucial moment, the Wicked Teeth trio displayed their might, their battle prowess shocking. The skeleton man used the Wicked Bone's secret technique and his overall battle power was close to the true lord rank. The man with the chainsaw used a secret technique that allowed the indestructible high-frequency vibrating chainsaw to have a long-range attack. The girl with the black lotus maintained the mist and summoned two green bronze ghost corpses whose battle power was close to the peak true mystic rank to pincer attack Zhao Feng from two sides. The cooperation between the three of them was perfect. They could attack and defend at the same time. The skeleton man used the Tao of Bone for close range and had the strongest defense and battle power. The chainsaw man's attacks were as sharp as lightning and specialized in breaking through defense. The girl with the black lotus and the green bronze ghost corpses could help or sneak attack at any time. At this point in time, Zhao Feng was surrounded and the situation was extremely disadvantageous. He faintly realized that he had underestimated the Wicked Teeth trio's battle power. This team could even fight against a normal true lord rank head-on. When Zhao Feng's bloodline power was fully activated and a figure wearing a crown and holding a black sword appeared behind him sitting on a throne of ice. Domain of the Ice King. A formless chill, with the icy figure and the frozen throne as the center, condensed and spread to a radius of several hundred feet. Anyone who got close to this area, or any means of attack, would be slowed down by the cold. The Domain of the Ice King was a bloodline secret technique that Zhao Feng had created based on Goddess Bing Wei's Domain of Ice and his own situation. The reason why it was called the Domain of the Ice King was because the figure behind Zhao Feng had the elements of a crown and a throne. The effect of this move was obvious. Although the skeleton man's battle power had increased greatly and his body was strong, his speed would still decrease when he got close to the Domain of the Ice King. Adding on to Zhao Feng's speed advantage, the skeleton man's threat to him was greatly reduced. This was only because the skeletal man was strong and had a unique constitution. If it was any other true mystic rank expert, they would probably struggle to move forward after being enveloped by the Ice King domain. Unfortunately, the man with the chainsaw blade and the girl with the black lotus were not good at close combat. When the two bronze ghost corpses approached the Ice King domain, their bodies stiffened and a layer of frost formed on them. Their speed dropped by half. That was to say, these enemies who were good at close combat were all greatly restricted by Zhao Feng's Ice King domain. Today, Zhao Feng's bloodline power development had far surpassed the past. He had seen so many bloodline geniuses, and his usage of his bloodline was several times better than before. The huge saw, which was vibrating at a high speed, slashed at Zhao Feng's legs in a tricky and ruthless trajectory. The chainsaw man's long-range attack locked onto Zhao Feng. Every time Zhao Feng dodged, it was very thrilling, because he still had to deal with the powerful siege of the chained skeleton man and the two bronze ghost corpses. The chainsaw guy is in the most danger. A cold light flashed in Zhao Feng's eyes as he decided to end the battle quickly. Up until now, he had mainly been trying to understand the nature of the Black Cliff Palace's martial arts. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The Yin shadow cloak shook and three lightning figures charged out of the ghost mist. Kiki, it's too late to run now. The Wicked Teeth trio worked together to seal off all of Zhao Feng's escape routes. Pew! 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 The three lightning figures were destroyed, they were all fakes. Over there! Watch out! The girl with the black lotus maintained the ghost mist and controlled her senses, quickly finding a hidden figure quickly approaching the chainsaw man. Huh! You want to kill me? The chainsaw man had a mocking expression as the vibrating saw returned to his hand. His consciousness was also close to Zhao Feng. His saw could return to his hand in close combat and he didn't fear close combat. Yet! In his field of vision, Zhao Feng was still getting closer and closer. Eye of Ice Soul. The blue-haired youth's left eye was as cold as a pond and instantly froze his consciousness. Woo! The chainsaw man's face was full of coldness as he trembled in fear. His body seemed to be in an ice cellar and every action was extremely cold. Paw! A flower of ice and lightning appeared in Zhao Feng's palm and exploded, turning his body into pieces of black ice. Chainsaw! The chainsaw man and the girl with the black lotus were dazed. They couldn't believe that Zhao Feng, who was in danger, had instantly turned the tables and killed one of them. It was unbelievable. The chainsaw man just stood there and let Zhao Feng kill him. It was as if he was frozen on the spot. However, the problem was that there was no sign of him being frozen at all. The Eye of Ice Soul is related to my mental energy level. The higher my mental energy level, the more I can use the God's spiritual eye. Zhao Feng wasn't surprised. His mental energy level had reached the True Lord rank and the Chainsaw Man's late-stage True Mystic rank cultivation couldn't resist the Eye of Ice Soul at all. Including the Chainsaw Man and the girl with the Black Lotus, their mental energy level hadn't reached the True Lord rank. This meant that Zhao Feng only needed to use his eyes 3 times to instantly kill the Wicked Teeth trio. At this moment, the Chainsaw Man and the girl with the Black Lotus were stunned. That's a mental energy eye technique. An ice elemental mental energy attack that freezes the opponent's consciousness. The girl with the Black Lotus soon understood. After all, she specialized in controlling ghosts and her mental energy usage was extraordinary. When she understood the reason, her heart dropped even more. Although her source of mental energy was stronger than the Chainsaw Man's, there wasn't a qualitative difference. If Zhao Feng could make the Chainsaw Man unable to resist, he also had the confidence to finish her off in one move. However, the girl with the Black Lotus didn't know that Zhao Feng's mental energy level had reached the True Lord rank and his source of mental energy was several times stronger than others of the same cultivation. No wonder. My cultivation is much higher than this brat's, so I shouldn't be scared. The Chainsaw Man's heart calmed down and he teamed up with the 2 green bronze ghost corpses to close in on Zhao Feng. The battle had reached this point. Even though the 2 teamed up, they didn't have the confidence to kill Zhao Feng and could only hope to stall him until the reinforcements from the Black Cliff Palace arrived. As long as Brother Chi Gui arrives, this brat won't be able to fight back. The girl with the Black Lotus thought. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. Your reinforcements are still 200 miles away. His God's spiritual eye saw the black demonic crows in the air 200 miles away. Hearing this, the 2 were stunned and their expressions changed. This brat's eye bloodline is terrifying. The 2 took in a cold breath. While Zhao Feng was fighting, he was still able to pay attention to the situation nearby. From this, it could be seen that the opponent was just playing around. In reality, apart from not using his eye bloodline, Zhao Feng had almost used all his strength. His God's spiritual eye multitasking was an ability he had long ago. Lightning Fire God's Eye. A translucent lightning fire appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye. Pew! The Chainsaw Man's body burned with lightning fire that spread throughout his body. Arg! The Chainsaw Man screamed as his body was covered in lightning fire and was instantly burnt black. His evil skills were countered to the extreme. The Lightning Fire God's Eye has improved a lot this time and can last longer. It's perfect for countering evil body cultivators. Zhao Feng nodded his head. Before, he had purposely refined the true spirit lightning fire in his body to increase the power of the Lightning Fire God's Eye to deal with the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace. Whether it was lightning or fire, they were both extremely effective against the corrupt paths and corrosive cultivation techniques. Furthermore, the combination of these 2 energies was a fatal eye flame. In just a few breaths, the Chainsaw Man was burnt to a crisp. The power of the Lightning Fire God's Eye pierced through both the physical and mental energy world. Not only did it burn the physical body, it also burned the mental energy consciousness. Senior apprentice brother, the remaining girl with the Black Lotus had a pale face. She couldn't imagine what kind of nightmare this was. 2 stares from his eye bloodline had killed 2 of the main forces of the Wicked Teeth trio. Amongst them was the peak true mystic rank skeleton man. Plop! She couldn't help but tremble as she fell to the ground sobbing, "Please, spare my life." Zhao Feng's lightning fire god's eye definitely countered the Black Cliff Palace's evil ghost corpses. Just one more stare and she would be sent to the afterlife. Even the powerful skeleton man could only last for a few breaths of time before he was burned to death, much less the delicate her. "Put away your ghost corpses," Zhao Feng said coldly. "Yes, yes, yes." The girl with the black lotus waved her hand and the mist disappeared as she put away the two green bronze ghost corpses. Shwa! Zhao Feng closed in like lightning and a ripple of ice and lightning spread across the girl's body. Arg! The girl with the black lotus twitched as her chi of true spirit was sealed and she lost her freedom. So fast. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye looked in a certain direction and found that the reinforcements from the Black Cliff Palace had entered 200 miles. Retreat! Zhao Feng grabbed the girl with the black lotus and merged into the forest. This person is so cold, why didn't he kill me? Is he like the other men and wants to? The girl with the black lotus was in despair. She couldn't imagine what kind of nightmare she would face if she fell into the hands of the enemy. Luckily, Zhao Feng's face was cold and his temperament was indifferent. He held her hostage and hurried along the way, not showing any signs of lust. Half the time it took to make tea later. So. The 7 people from the Black Cliff Palace led by Qigui, the nose-ring sharp-faced youth, arrived at a scorched and cratered area. The atmosphere was tense. Qigui didn't say a word as a pale white light flashed in his green bean-like eyes. On the spot, the corpse of the skeleton man was only left with a pile of scorched black bones. The chainsaw man's body had turned into a pile of black ice. "There's no Li Yulian's body," a skinny youth said. Looking at the marks, there was only one person fighting the Wicked Teeth trio. If it was done by that little brat, it's hard to imagine. Qigui murmured. "Brother Qigui, how is this possible? Maybe it was done by one of the 10 true lord ranks. For example, the Pure Moon spiritual sect has 5 true lord ranks and many of them are alone." The skinny youth shook his head. "That's right. When the Wicked Teeth 3 team up, they can even fight against normal true lord ranks. How could they be defeated by a brat? A measly brat at the early stages of the true mystic rank probably couldn't even beat the weakest member of the Wicked Teeth trio, much less 1 against 3. Chapter 395. The area where the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace were at was shrouded in a wicked aura and the surroundings were deathly silent. At this moment the skinny youth and the other geniuses all shook their heads. "Not necessarily. This person's soul has affected my black demon crows. From Qiao Chongting I found out that this person had threatened Qing Xiaoxue of the Wind Snow Pavilion and stole the spoils of war from the Wind Snow Pavilion alone. In terms of strength and methods, this brat has exceeded common sense." Qigui, the young man with the nose ring, said noncommittally. If Zhao Feng was here he would be shocked. The eagle-eyed youth from the Wind Snow Pavilion couldn't avoid a nightmare. Through interrogating the eagle-eyed youth, the Black Cliff Palace found the aura of the place where Zhao Feng first cultivated and used their tracking methods to follow Zhao Feng. This was also the reason why Zhao Feng met the Wicked Teeth trio. If it was under normal circumstances I wouldn't waste my energy on this person. However, he might have a loophole in the Purple Saint ruins and doesn't belong to the 3 sides. He doesn't have an inheritance token but can enter the ruins. This brat must be captured alive. The ghastly white flames in Qigui's eyes suddenly flickered like the flames of hell, wanting to burn the entire world. At this moment the hearts of the figures from the Black Cliff Palace trembled and they were filled with respect as they agreed. Qigui was one of the 2 true lord ranks from the Black Cliff Palace that had entered the Purple Saint ruins. He was extremely strong and was deeply trusted by the clan. Qigui's actions were also for the benefit of the clan. If they could grasp the loophole of the Purple Saint ruins, how big of a secret would that be? How much profit would they be able to get for the sect? "Brother Qigui, if the culprit really is that brat, he'll definitely be on his guard next time. A peak true mystic rank ghost masked man said. The one who chased us last time was Li Yolian of the Wicked Teeth Trio, and she's probably dead now. This time I'll use the tracking technique myself. Chi Gui's voice was sharp as if he had made up his mind. Ha ha ha, I forgot that the person in this group who is most proficient in tracking techniques is actually senior brother Chi Gui. Even Li Yolian and the others have received guidance from senior brother. Not to mention the Black Cliff Palace, in the entire Purple Saint Ruins, who can match senior brother Chi Gui in tracking. Those from the Black Cliff Palace were delighted and started to flatter him. Protect me. Chi Gui sat cross-legged and was immediately surrounded by a group of people as they surveyed the surroundings. In this dangerous Purple Saint Ruins, even the Black Cliff Palace didn't dare act recklessly and still had to be wary of any enemies that might appear. Whoosh! A small porcelain bottle appeared in Crimson Ghost's palm, and within it floated an incomparably dim gas that was a mixture of light blue and light green. It couldn't be seen with the naked eye, but it could be sensed with one's spiritual sense. If someone familiar with Zhao Feng was here, they would definitely be surprised. The smell in the small porcelain bottle was exactly like Zhao Feng's smell. In reality, this was the Black Cliff Palace collecting Zhao Feng's aura. Dark Ghost Void. Chi Gui's body was surrounded by a transparent black ripple, and a dark mental energy field enveloped everything within 100 yards. At this moment in time, all the birds and insects within a 10-mile radius were dead silent. Black Wicked Eye. This is senior brother Chi Gui's eye bloodline. It can communicate with yin and yang and can see through the heavens and earth. It also specializes in tracking. The pale white light in Chi Gui's eye twisted and a dark dot appeared in the middle. Pang pang. Pang pang. All the geniuses from the Black Cliff Palace felt as if their mental energy had frozen. A wisp of Zhao Feng's aura floated out from the small porcelain bottle, and under the gaze of Chi Gui's Black Wicked Eye, it turned into a black smoke that dissipated into the heavens and earth. Immediately following, the mysterious dark dot in the middle of Chi Gui's Black Wicked Eye shot out a transparent ray of light that pierced through the clouds. Everyone raised their heads and saw a dark ball of light in the clouds. It was like a ghost lantern that floated in the air. Woo, the ghost lantern seemed to sense something and flashed in a certain direction. Dark Lantern Ghost Eye. This Dark Lantern Ghost Eye is a secret technique of the evil Ghost Dao that is extremely hard to comprehend. Without the corresponding eye bloodline, one can't even touch it. The geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace exclaimed in surprise. At this moment in time, the Dark Lantern Ghost Eye pointed out the direction of the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace. I can use my Black Wicked Eye bloodline to support the Dark Lantern Ghost Eye. Not only can I control everything within 100 miles, I can even sense the direction of the target within 500 miles. Furthermore, at night, the extreme Yin Ghost Chi will increase and its power will increase. Chi Gui smiled proudly. Let's go. So. The 7 geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace, with Chi Gui at the lead, followed the direction of the Dark Lantern Ghost Eye and flew through the air. Several hundred miles away. So, Zhao Feng held the girl with the black lotus and stood on a large tree. You won't be able to escape from senior brother Chi Gui. I suggest you give up and let me go. Maybe then you'll be able to live. The girl with the black lotus forced herself to calm down and hide the fear in her heart. Even at this moment, the scene of Zhao Feng killing the skeleton man and chainsaw man replayed in her mind. Zhao Feng ignored her and searched the girl with the black lotus. What do you want? Please, no. The girl's body froze and her face turned red as she sobbed. Zhao Feng didn't move and quickly took out an old book from the girl's clothes. In this period of time, he obviously couldn't avoid touching the sensitive areas of the girl's skin. However, Zhao Feng's expression was emotionless as he looked at the book in his hand. There was a pale skeleton on the cover of the book, and the book glowed with a dim light. How did you know? The girl with the black lotus was shocked. She had always kept this book on her and didn't even put it in her interspatial dimension. 6 Ghost Corpse Controlling Secret Technique, Top-Tier Spiritual Grade Skill, First Half. Contains the Heaven-Earth Yin Qi, Corpse Qi, Ghost Qi, Death Qi, Poison Qi and other powers, controlling ghost corpses to roam the world. Zhao Feng's eyes lit up as he skimmed through. He had personally seen the Black Cliff Palace's method of controlling ghost corpses. It was extremely novel and almost extinct in the Azure Flower continent. Only the Scarlet Moon demonic religion had similar methods. Furthermore, this secret technique was at the top-tier spiritual grade and was a level higher than the Lightning Inheritance and Mystic Flower Treasured Bible. Shwa! Zhao Feng first opened his God spiritual eye and quickly copied the contents of the 6 Ghost Corpse Controlling Secret Technique. Then, Zhao Feng took away the Black Lotus from the girl with the Black Lotus. The Black Lotus was an extremely precious weapon of the Ghost Dao and was even more valuable than Zhao Feng's 3-flowered treasured lotus. Furthermore, there were 2 green bronze ghost corpses close to the peak true mystic rank within it. Tell me how to control ghost corpses. Zhao Feng said coldly. He had been a beast tamer before and had controlled spiritual pets before, so he had some interest in controlling ghost corpses. In this dangerous purple saint ruins, if he could control ghost corpses, it would be beneficial for Zhao Feng's exploration. For example, the 2 green bronze ghost corpses of the girl with the Black Lotus could be called a meat shield. Their defense was extremely strong and they were close to Shi Qingtian's. Zhao Feng's God Spiritual Eye and Luo Ho Bao specialized in long-range attacks. If he had these meat shields, it would be the best combination. Technique to control ghost corpses. It's useless even if I teach it to you. You don't even cultivate the ghost corpse sect skills and the wicked air of death will devour your consciousness. The girl with the Black Lotus was speechless. Stop talking nonsense. Obediently do as I say or else your outcome will be worse than the previous 2. Zhao Feng's expression was cold and his God spiritual eye scanned over the girl with the Black Lotus. The girl with the Black Lotus trembled and the coldness of fear went straight to her soul. Only the other 2 true lord ranks of the main clan had felt such pressure and fear from Brother Qigui. I have a technique here that you can use for the 3rd part of the 6 Ghost Corpse Controlling Secret Technique. The girl with the Black Lotus's face was pale as she explained the technique. Zhao Feng learned it once and compared it with the mental energy techniques he used to control beasts and spiritual pets. It even resonated with some of the wicked techniques in the Dark Eye Incomplete page. In the past 2 years, Zhao Feng had studied many skills and copied many techniques. Amongst those below the Origin Core realm, he was extremely knowledgeable. After a while, Zhao Feng understood. Controlling ghost corpses was the same as controlling beasts and spiritual pets. The key was to have strong mental energy control. This was the biggest advantage of Zhao Feng's God Spiritual Eye. What do we do next? These ghost corpses, especially the zombies, don't have any intelligence. How do we connect? Zhao Feng asked. After all, these ghost corpses were dead. You've learned it? The girl with the Black Lotus shook her head and smiled in disbelief. Stop bullshitting. Zhao Feng said impatiently. The girl with the Black Lotus laughed in her heart. Keep acting. Of course, she was scared of Zhao Feng's terrifying strength and didn't dare to resist. You need to leave your mental energy mark on the ghost corpses. I have it here and the 2nd part of the 6 Ghost Corpse Controlling Secret Technique. Zhao Feng nodded his head and continued to learn. At a certain moment, a transparent bolt of lightning flashed in Zhao Feng's God Spiritual Eye and flashed across the 2 green bronze ghost corpses. Shwa! Green smoke rose from the 2 green bronze ghost corpses and an unknown change occurred. Pew! Blood leaked from the girl with the Black Lotus's mouth and her face was pale white with shock, instantly erasing my mental energy mark on the green bronze ghost corpses. How is this possible? Even a true Lord rank ghost corpse expert doesn't have this ability. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye scanned over and used the lightning fire god's eye to erase the mental energy mark the girl with the black lotus had left on the green bronze ghost corpses. Lightning and fire originally countered the Tao of evil, so erasing the mental energy mark was relatively easy. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's mental energy level was comparable to the true lord rank and he had the god's spiritual eye. From now on, the girl with the black lotus had no connection with the two green bronze ghost corpses. This way, Zhao Feng could leave a new mental energy mark on the green bronze ghost corpses. Chapter 396. The two bronze ghost corpses let out low roars after their soul imprints were destroyed, emitting a frightening ghostly aura. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws, ready to attack. Zhao Feng stood on the side and watched with interest. The girl with the black lotus suddenly revealed an expression of fear and said in a trembling voice, "Don't roar." After losing their freedom, the two bronze ghost corpses let out soul-shaking roars. They bared their fangs and bloody mouths as they pounced toward the girl with the black lotus. After regaining their freedom, the two green bronze ghost corpses instinctively didn't dare approach Zhao Feng and instead chose to attack the girl with the black lotus. The green bronze ghost corpses could sense the blood of any living being and would instinctively attack and devour their flesh and blood. Seeing the two green bronze ghost corpses slowly approach, the girl with the black lotus was about to fall into an endless nightmare. Hee hee. A light laugh came from behind the green bronze ghost corpses. Paw! Paw! A pair of powerful hands slapped the shoulders of the two green bronze ghost corpses and a bone-chilling coldness that suppressed the soul spread out. The two bronze ghost corpses that were growling and growling suddenly froze, not daring to move. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye flashed with a cold light and gave off an ancient mental energy aura that countered and suppressed these ghosts. In the previous battle, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye had only needed to stare and he had destroyed several ghosts at the early stages of the true mystic realm. Back then, in the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground, not even that formless and terrifying curse energy could get close to Zhao Feng's body. It could be said that gods and devils had to flee. At this moment, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye purposely released a mental energy aura, and under this pressure, the two green bronze ghost corpses didn't dare move. This scene stunned the girl with the black lotus. She couldn't believe that there was such a powerful eye bloodline that countered the Tao of ghosts. The girl with the black lotus then saw Zhao Feng use the technique he had just learned and place a mental energy brand on the two green bronze ghost corpses. With the black lotus girl's cultivation, she would need at least half a day to accomplish this. Furthermore, the bronze ghost corpse would be half dead and unable to retaliate. As for Zhao Feng, with his god's spiritual eye, he lightly glanced at them and easily left a mark. The two green bronze ghost corpses seemed abnormally obedient. Swoosh! The two bronze ghost corpses quickly stood on either side of Zhao Feng, as if they were his personal guards. Not bad, not bad. Zhao Feng nodded as he tried to figure out how to control the ghostly corpses. However, Zhao Feng found that he didn't need to deliberately learn to control the bronze ghost corpse. It was as if it was an instinct. On one hand, Zhao Feng had previous experience in controlling spiritual pets and demonic beasts. On the other hand, the god's spiritual eye was like an ancient god, firmly suppressing the bronze ghost corpses, easily subduing them. Simply put, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye was indeed talented in this aspect. Furthermore, controlling ghost corpses was not a very profound technique compared to the ancient soul path. How is this possible? The Black Lotus girl's eyes widened in disbelief. For a moment, she was almost lifeless. At this point in time, the two bronze ghost corpses that originally belonged to her were easily stolen by Zhao Feng. This fellow was the nemesis of all evil and sinister ghost sections. I'll be taking your Black Lotus and ghost corpses. Zhao Feng swiped at the Black Lotus and black smoke was emitted as he put the two bronze ghost corpses away. The Black Lotus contained a thick air of wicked and was suitable for raising ghosts. However, apart from the two bronze ghost corpses whose battle power was near the peak true mystic rank, the other ghosts weren't even at the late stages of the true mystic rank and couldn't enter Zhao Feng's eyes. Zhao Feng considered using the other ghosts in the Black Lotus as nourishment to raise the two bronze ghost corpses' battle power to the peak true mystic rank. Right at this moment, Zhao Feng's expression changed as his god's spiritual eye looked in a certain direction. So fast? You people from the Black Cliff Palace really won't go away. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye saw through 1 to 200 miles and saw the dark lantern ghost eye floating in the clouds. In reality, the dark lantern ghost eye was extremely small and was only slightly bigger than a normal person's eye. It was extremely unnoticeable and hard to find. However, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye's sight was extremely sharp and could even tell the gender of a mosquito at the same distance. The Black Lotus girl couldn't see the dark lantern ghost eye, but from Zhao Feng's expression, the Black Cliff Palace's reinforcements had probably arrived and she revealed a look of joy. Not long after, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye once again saw the 7 people from the Black Cliff Palace heading towards him. What a brilliant tracking technique! Using some kind of mysterious eye technique to penetrate the netherworld, sense, and lock onto my aura. Zhao Feng didn't immediately run and instead tried to find a way out. If he didn't find the source and the dark lantern ghost eye locked onto Zhao Feng's aura, it would be extremely hard to escape. After finding out the reason, Zhao Feng started to try a few methods. Firstly, he tried to retract his aura, but the effect wasn't good. The dark lantern ghost eye was extremely profound, and as long as it was within its range, it could sense it, ignoring normal mediums. Then, Zhao Feng used the Yin shadow cloak to create 2 shadow doppelgangers that flew in different directions. The shadow doppelgangers also contain my aura. Zhao Feng thought in his heart. In the end, the dark lantern ghost eye circled around for a while before locking onto Zhao Feng. If it was just the dark lantern ghost eye, it didn't have any intelligence and didn't have the ability to judge. However, the problem was that the dark lantern ghost eye was controlled by Qi Gui's black evil eye. Qi Gui was good at tracking and his judgment was shocking. The aura of the shadow doppelgangers couldn't confuse him. As the dark lantern ghost eye got closer and night fell, the range of the ghost eye's vision and sensing ability would increase greatly. Since I can't avoid it, then I can only try to break the ghost eye lamp. A sharp light flashed in Zhao Feng's eyes. However, the problem was that the dark lantern ghost eye was 1 to 200 miles away from Zhao Feng and wasn't within its effective range. The 4 major eye bloodline techniques and the Luoho Bao were too far away. Looks like I can only try using that move. Zhao Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. As for that move, Zhao Feng didn't have much confidence and had only used it by accident. However, now that his mental energy level had reached the true Lord rank, his success rate and control should be higher. Thinking up to here, Zhao Feng entered the state of merging his mental energy into one and becoming one with heaven and earth. This was only the first step and it was the foundation for that move. Then, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye was like a freezing pond that extended infinitely and his aura was constantly being circulated to the limit. In the end, an ancient and terrifying energy began to exude from Zhao Feng's body. The Black Lotus girl and the 2 green bronze ghost corpses trembled. At the same time, in the distance, Qi Gui and company were traveling quickly and everything was guided by the dark lantern ghost eye in the sky. Qi Gui continued to maintain the dark lantern ghost eye and his mental energy eye power was constantly being used up and he was slightly tired. Luckily, night had arrived and the density of the air of Yin had decreased. At a certain moment, Qi Gui suddenly had a feeling that he was being looked down on from the sky. It was as if there was a god looking down on the ants on the ground, indifferent and just like the heavenly Tao. At the beginning, Qi Gui thought that it was an illusion, but with his black evil eye, he knew that it was not an illusion. He was really being watched and monitored. No! That should be a blatant disdain. Finally, even the other geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace felt an invisible mental energy pressure. Suddenly, A faint mental energy undulation came from above the dark lantern ghost eye. That's... The geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace were stunned as they stared at the sky with their mouths agape. Chapter 397. On the Huge Tree. The Black Lotus Girl was puzzled. For a moment just now, she felt that Zhao Feng's body seemed to have lost its soul. In the next instant, Zhao Feng's face was slightly pale as if he was slightly exhausted. If it was just looking down from the sky, the exhaustion wasn't small, but it wasn't this terrifying. Just now, Zhao Feng didn't just look down from the sky, he also used a mental attack. Swish! He touched the Black Lotus and once again put away the green bronze ghost corpses. When he used that overlooking eye, his consciousness would completely leave the body and his body would be like a puppet without any senses. It was best if there was someone protecting him. Immediately after, Zhao Feng's cold eyes stared at the Black Lotus Girl. The Black Lotus Girl exclaimed with a pale face. She was extremely helpless and this might be her last nightmare. She cried out in her heart. Could it be that her fellow disciples of the Black Cliff Palace had chased over and forced Zhao Feng into a desperate situation? Of course, she didn't know that her fellow disciples of the Black Cliff Palace were in extreme shock. Tell your fellow disciples that if they don't let go, don't blame me for using all methods to destroy them. A cold voice filled with killing intent appeared in the mind of the Black Lotus Girl. When she came back to her senses, there was only an electric shadow left in her original position. Swish! Zhao Feng flew into the complicated forest and at the same time, he used a secret technique to retract his aura. Zhao Feng didn't lack aura concealing techniques, the Mystic Flower Treasured Bible had them. As long as there wasn't a profound tracking technique like the Gloom Ghost Eye, Zhao Feng wouldn't be easily tracked. Furthermore, he would create a shadow doppelganger every time he went a certain distance and would run in another direction with his aura. That ghost eye lamp's sensing ability should have a distance limit. If I'm far enough from them, like 500 miles or even 1,000 miles, can it still sense me? Zhao Feng's heart calmed down slightly and he quickened his pace. After the time it took to drink tea, the group from the Black Cliff Palace had arrived near the tree that Zhao Feng had stayed at. The girl with the Black Lotus was recuperating on the spot. When she saw Qi Gui and the others, she was pleasantly surprised. Senior brother Qi Gui, did you guys capture and kill that kid? As soon as she asked this, she regretted it. The expressions of Qi Gui and the others were somewhat solemn. After hearing this, they became even more embarrassed. Subsequently, the Black Lotus Girl told the story of how the Evil Teeth trio was defeated, including how Zhao Feng stole her Black Lotus and ghost corpses, as well as the threat he left behind. The faces of those from the Black Cliff Palace became darker and darker. However, he was even more fearful of the abilities that Zhao Feng had displayed. What kind of eye bloodline is this? 2 gazes and it killed 2 junior brothers. In the end, that transcending space gaze actually crossed 100 to 200 li and extinguished my ghost lantern eye. The more Qi Gui knew, the more shocked he was. The target was only an early-stage true mystic rank genius with an unknown background. Ever since the desolate continent was destroyed, billions of specks of dust fell. Each speck of dust formed a world that was connected to the limitless ocean like small islands called island zones. Each island zone was a world of its own. The natives of the island zones were like frogs at the bottom of a well and often said that they lived on an endless continent. Who knew which island zone this brat came from? After all, this world was limitless. After the desolate continent was destroyed, billions of specks of dust floated away and apparently the world was still expanding. Senior brother Qi Gui, are we going to listen to that brat's threat? The skinny youth said unwillingly. Although the Black Cliff Palace was ranked last amongst the 3 sects of the Tianlu Islands, it was still a 2-star sect and was famous in the wicked path. When had they ever been humiliated like this? Qi Gui fell into deep thought and his expression kept changing. If it was a head-on battle, that brat definitely isn't my match. However, his eye bloodline is too mysterious and powerful. Apart from me, most of the others probably can't block one glance from him. Chi Gui's expression was filled with struggle. In a contest of eye bloodlines, he had lost to a youth whose cultivation was an entire level lower. This made him unwilling to accept this, and his battle intent rose. However, Chi Gui couldn't ignore the big picture. Zhao Feng was acting alone and had countless methods. On top of that, he had so many fellow disciples. Right now, we need to contact senior brother Mo Gan. If we team up with him, our chances of killing that brat will increase greatly. Apart from that, we need to increase our efforts and find the ruins treasured palace that doesn't have a fixed location. Chi Gui finally made his decision. Their goal in coming to the Purple Saint ruins was to harvest. There were many extinct treasures in the ruins as well as rare beasts. Apart from that, those who were lucky enough to enter the ruins could also find some fortune. The most famous of them was the ruins treasured palace. That was the center of the Purple Saint ruins, and apparently, the Purple Knight Saint Lord had passed the last part of her life here and left behind her inheritance. However, every time the ruins treasured palace opened, the chances of it appearing wasn't high, only around 1 in 10. Chio! Suddenly, a ghastly dark bone arrow pierced through the night sky, heading straight in the direction of Chi Gui and the others. Ghost Arrow Messenger. Chi Gui took the gloomy ghost bone arrow. This messenger method was unique to the Black Cliff Palace, and if it was in the outside world, it could be sent tens of thousands of miles. Even in the Purple Saint ruins, it could be sent at least 1,000 miles. If it was at night, the distance could be doubled. Opening the ghost bone arrow, there was a special letter inside. Yi Yenyu of the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect has found fortune in a mysterious canyon in the northeast corner of the Three Ridge Mountains. There seems to be many ancient treasures inside. Chi Gui's eyes flashed after reading the letter. Yi Yenyu. Yi Yenyu's strength is at least in the top 3 of the 10 true lord ranks and is ranked second in the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect. Those from the Black Cliff Palace had faces filled with wariness and fear when they thought of this name. The Purple Saint Ruins was controlled by the 3 2-star sections. Amongst them, the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect was a 2.5-star sect, and their strength far surpassed the Black Cliff Palace. Of the 3 sects, the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect was first and had 5 true lord ranks. The Moon Demon Palace was second with 3 true lord ranks and was once a 2.5-star sect. This meant that of the 10 true lord ranks that entered, the 3 sects took up all the spots. The other 10 1-star sects didn't have any true lord ranks and had at most half-step true lord ranks. From this one could see that every extra star or even half a star had a huge difference. This not only reflected the overall strength of the sect, but also the disciples. This Yi Yenyu's luck is great and she likes to move alone. Our brothers from the Black Cliff Palace can gather our men and plan before we act. We can catch her off guard. If not, we can team up with the Moon Demon Palace. Chi Gui harumphed coldly. One-on-one he indeed wasn't Yi Yenyu's match. The opponent's cultivation had reached the late stages of the True Lord rank and came from a 2.5-star sect. In terms of talent or bloodline, she was top tier in the 3 sections. However, in the Purple Saint ruins, one person's strength couldn't decide everything. One needed teamwork and intelligence. So. Swoosh. 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 Chi Gui ordered and led the Black Cliff Palace towards the Three Ridge Mountain Range. An hour later. As soon as Chi Gui and company arrived, those from the Black Cliff Palace came to receive them. Brother Chi Gui, the mysterious canyon is there. That canyon is extremely weird and creates weird winds all day long. Once hit, normal true mystic ranks will lose a layer of skin even if they don't die. A disciple from the Black Cliff Palace said. As expected. The people from the Black Cliff Palace had just gotten close when they felt the strange wind howling in the mysterious canyon. A faint, strange gust of wind that could be seen with the naked eye swept through the entire canyon every few breaths of time. When the weird wind died down, everyone could feel the dense heaven-earth yuan qi in the depths of the canyon and even the aura of ancient resources. There must be many rare resources in this canyon. The geniuses from the Black Cliff Palace and nearby sects all stopped and watched. When the strange wind dissipated, everyone vaguely caught a glimpse of a green-robed fairy standing on a high peak in the depths of the canyon. The green-robed fairy was fresh and elegant. Her face was as beautiful as a white lotus. Her body was as light as a falling leaf, so ethereal. Yi Yenyu. The expressions of Chi Gui and the others turned cold as they stared at the girl who was as ethereal as a fallen leaf. Of the dozens of geniuses present, only Yi Yenyu had entered the depths of the canyon by herself. Looking at her smile, she must have gained a lot. Chi Gui opened his black evil eye and observed Yi Yenyu when the strange wind stopped. Sure enough, this woman was holding an ancient precious material in her hand. Every single one of them would be priceless in the outside world. Meow meow. A silver-gray kitten about the size of a palm was leisurely snuggling against the side of Yi Yenyu's face. Chi Gui felt that something was wrong. He had never seen this cat by Yi Yenyu's side before. In the Tianlu Island zone, Yi Yenyu was famous for her beauty and intelligence. Countless geniuses of the three sects thought of her as their goddess. But now, this strange cat had gained the favor of Yi Yenyu and was leaning against her. This would probably make the eyes of many geniuses chasing after their goddess turn red with jealousy. What made Chi Gui even more confused was that the strange kitten was still looking at him with a cunning and playful gaze. Meow meow. The strange kitten tossed a few ancient copper coins between its paws. The coins flew in the air and made a tinkling sound. It had the arrogant look of a little trickster. Little thieving cat, did you find anything else? Yi Yenyu revealed a happy expression as her slender hands gently stroked the fur on the little thieving cat's head. Ever since she met this little thieving cat, she had been lucky in the ruins and now she had found this mysterious canyon. More importantly, this thieving cat was extremely intelligent and she liked it a lot. Meow meow. The little thieving cat seemed to be enjoying this. With a humph, it waved its paw in a certain direction. A while later, the Heaven-Earth Yuan Chi in the direction the little thieving cat pointed and another true Lord-rank genius appeared.
Chapter 398. In a corner of the Purple Saint ruins. Zhao Feng's figure suddenly paused as he felt a connection from the other side of the blood pact. If it was in the outside world, the connection would be extremely strong and the higher the cultivation, the further the connection would be. However, in the Purple Saint ruins, all senses were suppressed and even Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye couldn't avoid it. After all, the owner of this ruin was at the mystic light realm when he was alive, and he was just one step away from the heavenly divine realm. He was at a level that no living being in this world could see. The other side of the blood pact was obviously the little thieving cat. After entering the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng, the little thieving cat and Zhao Yufei were all teleported away. At this point in time, Zhao Feng could sense a blurry direction. I'll try to meet up with the little thieving cat first. Because of this connection, Zhao Feng decided to change his plan. According to his original plan, he was going to give up the other ghosts in the Black Lotus as nourishment to strengthen the green bronze ghost corpse. At the same time, his cultivation had reached the true Lord rank and with the help of the giant crocodile lightning bone and water heart pulse, his foundation was extremely stable and had even increased from the early stages of the true mystic rank. Once his mental energy level reached the true Lord rank, his cultivation speed would increase by several times. Adding on to the fact that the Heaven-Earth Yuan Chi here was several times purer and denser than the Azure Flower continent. Under this situation, if Zhao Feng went into seclusion for 5 or 6 days, he had a 50% chance of reaching the late stages of the true mystic rank. However, Zhao Feng had changed his plan. It wasn't easy for him to enter the inheritance and Zhao Feng couldn't waste this chance. Now that he had sensed the little thieving cat, Zhao Feng had another helping hand. An hour later, Zhao Feng entered a large mountain range. Danger lurked in every corner of the mountain range. All sorts of beasts and birds hid in various places, occasionally popping their heads out. At this point in time, the connection from the little thieving cat became stronger and stronger. I'm very close. Zhao Feng was extremely cautious. His god's spiritual eye locked onto a canyon 1 to 200 miles away. There were dozens of outer realm geniuses wandering around the canyon, but most of them didn't dare to rashly enter. The mysterious canyon was filled with gusts of weird wind that could instantly rip apart experts at the true human rank and even most at the true mystic rank. Puff puff, thump. Several true mystic rank geniuses rolled out of the canyon ruffled. 2 late-stage true mystic rank geniuses were injured and blood leaked from their mouths. In terms of strength, they were comparable to the overwhelming prodigies of the sacred true dragon gathering.
This weird wind is so strong that it'll be hard for anyone below the true lord rank to protect themselves. Even those at the true lord rank would be in trouble if they encountered the strongest wind. Zhao Feng was secretly surprised. Since the mysterious canyon was so dangerous, these foreign geniuses weren't willing to leave and even tried to barge their way in. There must be some fortuitous encounters inside. In the crowd, Zhao Feng saw Qi Gui and company from the Black Cliff Palace. Apart from that, there was another force led by a blood-robed youth at the early stage true lord rank. The scarlet-robed youth had a blood-colored crescent moon mark between his eyebrows. His body exuded a soul-chilling, fiendish aura. This aura made Zhao Feng think of the Blood Corpse Protector and the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. If his judgment wasn't wrong, this blood-robed youth should be from the 2-star sect Moon Demon Palace and was more than 10 times stronger than the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. When Zhao Feng arrived, both the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace had tried to barge into the mysterious canyon, but most of them failed. There were also some 1-star sects nearby that tried and found a few corpses that didn't even look human. Of course, after paying a price, both the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace found a pattern. There's a pattern to the distribution of strength and changes of the strange wind in this canyon. Where the wind is the weakest, even those at the true human rank can be safe, and where the wind is the strongest, even those at the true lord rank can be killed. If we form teams and choose the best route, we can reduce the number of casualties to the lowest. As long as we pass through the area of wind and enter the core of the canyon, there'll be many ancient treasures there and the weird wind won't exist. The 2 true lord ranks from the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace started to discuss. Only by bringing more people in and excavating the resources would they be able to get the most out of it. While Qi Gui and the blood-robed youth were discussing, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye was also observing the changes in the weird wind. Every time the weird wind appeared, changed and distributed, Zhao Feng would use his god's spiritual eye to copy every detail. After 10 times of copying and comparing, Zhao Feng found the pattern and even found some logic. The next few times, when the wind formed, Zhao Feng could even predict how strong the wind would be and what would happen in the next period of time. Once he grasped the pattern, the threat of the weird wind would be reduced by at least 70%. Of all the geniuses present, probably only Zhao Feng had the ability to use profound insight to find such a precise pattern in such a short amount of time. After all, the canyon was almost 100 miles wide and was the size of a normal city. If it was someone else, it would take them a few days to figure it out. The Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace had paid a high price and only managed to find some incomplete patterns, and there was even a bit of luck involved. Go! At this time, Qi Gui led a group of 10 elites and followed a route into the mysterious canyon. The Moon Demon Palace followed another route. The 2 parties are both walking along the mountain wall. The power of the strange wind is generally weaker, but it's still far from the best route. Zhao Feng sent them off with his eyes, and his figure flashed as he approached the mysterious canyon. As he neared the mysterious canyon, the blood contract from the little thieving cat became stronger and stronger. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye didn't find the little thieving cat earlier, meaning that it could have entered the depths of the canyon. Xiao xiao! The air crackled with lightning as Zhao Feng entered the mysterious canyon. Eh? Who's that? It seems like there's a person that entered the canyon alone. He's too fast and can't be seen clearly when he's in stealth. Could it be a beast? Near the entrance of the canyon, there were some geniuses from other small sects. Calling them small sects was only relative to the 3 two-star sections. The forces behind these geniuses weren't any weaker than the Scarlet Moon demonic religion that had swept the Azure Flower continent. After Zhao Feng entered the canyon, his speed wasn't fast. He would sometimes pause for a while after traveling a certain distance and even regress. But without a doubt, he had to face the smallest wind each time, and when the wind was at its strongest, he could easily dissolve it with the 3-flowered treasured lotus. If it wasn't for Zhao Feng, even Shi Qingtian's defense would have been shattered by the strong wind. Therefore, Zhao Feng's speed was far behind the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace. But this was also what Zhao Feng wanted. Whether it was the Black Cliff Palace or the Moon Demon Palace, they weren't something he could fight alone. The strength of these 2 true lord ranks far surpassed his. Finally, after 2 hours of dodging, Zhao Feng was unharmed and he walked towards the depths of the canyon where the wind was the weakest. The weird thing was, once he passed through the rocky area outside the canyon, the weird wind disappeared. In the depths of the canyon was a patch of green soil. The Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi here was 10 times denser than the other areas of the Purple Saint ruins. Zhao Feng stood still and felt an ancient aura rush towards him. It was as if he had stepped through time and space and entered a primordial forest from the ancient times. What entered his eyes was a forest of flowers and plants. There were many rare plants that he had never seen before, and many of them were extinct in the outside world. Some of the towering trees were more than 300 zhang tall. Their branches were luxuriant, and their roots extended for several li. They were the size of a small village. Every flower and tree here had been bathed in the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi and had almost reached the level of a normal plant. Simply put, any piece of wood or soil here contained spirituality and would be worth hundreds or thousands of primal crystal stones in the outside world. It could be said that this place was filled with gold. If I cultivate here, it's equivalent to 100 times the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi of the Azure Flower continent. It's hard to imagine how many fortuitous encounters there are in this canyon that still retains the ancient aura. Zhao Feng's heart shook. At this time, the sound of fighting came from the depths of the canyon along with the roar of ancient beasts. It was clear that the other parties had encountered something in the mysterious canyon. Perhaps it was also a fortuitous encounter. Zhao Feng didn't stay and quickly retreated. He did not act rashly. Instead, he climbed to a crack in the mountain and opened his god's spiritual eye to control the environment of this area. The god's spiritual eye scanned every rock, every forest, and even the grass and underground. Just from the first scan, Zhao Feng was overjoyed. The ancient resources and natural treasures in this mysterious canyon were beyond imagination. Zhao Feng only scanned once and found dozens of ancient treasures whose value was enough to make the eyes of true Lord ranks go red. Even the rock next to Zhao Feng contained a lot of value. Pang! Zhao Feng chopped down with his palm and the rock split open, revealing a patch of green moss. There were a few black grape-like fruits growing on the mossy soil. They were about the size of a thumb and had strange crystal patterns on their surface. With his god's spiritual eye, Zhao Feng found that the spirituality and essence of the heaven-earth within these fruits exceeded any he had seen in the Azure Flower continent. What's the background of these black fruits? When Zhao Feng plucked the fruits, he felt a pure and astonishing Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi flow out. The awkward thing was that with his knowledge of the Azure Flower continent, he couldn't say where these fruits came from. The Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King is slightly cold and contains a large amount of pure essence of the Heaven-Earth. It can instantly recover the Yuan Qi of those at the true spirit realm and at the critical moment can return their battle power to its peak. Apart from that, the core can cleanse and strengthen the body, replenishing Yuan Qi, and is especially effective for those below the true Lord rank. With your current state, one fruit has a 50% chance of breaking through a small realm. A woman's voice that was clear and melodious like the sounds of nature came from behind the rock wall, and it seemed to be leisurely and satisfied. Chapter 399. This fruit can cleanse and strengthen one's body and replenish one's Yuan Qi. It's especially effective for those below the true Lord rank. With your current state, eating one will give you a 50% chance of breaking through a small realm. Zhao Feng's body froze and cold sweat appeared on his back. Even though the voice of the woman behind him was clear and sweet, so pleasant to the ears, and even answered the doubts in his heart. Zhao Feng's God's spiritual eyes senses were extremely sharp, and the girl was able to come within dozens of yards of him without him noticing at all. Of course, this might be because the girl didn't have any killing intent or her control was extremely strong. At the same time, a familiar aura reached a peak. Zhao Feng turned around casually and inspected the green-clothed girl on the wall behind him. She had a face as white as a lotus and was as pure and elegant as a goddess. Meow meow. A little silver cat sat on the shoulder of the green-clothed female and looked at Zhao Feng gloatingly. Little thieving cat. Zhao Feng's heart jumped and he instantly had many guesses. The interior of the mysterious canyon was not small, and the terrain was complicated. The green-robed woman was able to approach him silently from behind. Her purpose was clear. The answer was obvious. If it wasn't for the little thieving cat leading the way, how could it be so coincidental? The goddess in green smiled and inspected Zhao Feng. You're the owner of the little thieving cat. You don't belong to any of the three sides but can enter the Purple Saint ruins. Interesting. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled. The goddess in green's cultivation had reached the late stages of the true Lord rank and was even stronger than Qi Gui. She was probably stronger than he could handle. As for this girl's identity, Zhao Feng had already guessed it. When he entered the canyon, the name Yi Yanyu was mentioned by the geniuses nearby and their words were filled with respect and admiration. Little thieving cat. Why did you betray me? When did I mistreat you? Zhao Feng didn't bother with Yi Yanyu and looked coldly at the little thieving cat. Meow meow. The little thieving cat's face was full of resentment and dissatisfaction. It bared its fangs and brandished its claws at Zhao Feng, then obediently and lazily leaned against the beautiful woman's face. Yi Yanyu smiled faintly. A fine bird chooses a tree to nest in, not to mention a mysterious spiritual pet with an ancient bloodline like the little thieving cat. When the little thieving cat was just born and weak, you forced it to sign a spirit pet blood contract. How could it be truly loyal to you? Zhao Feng paused. Back at the Floating Crest Palace, he had indeed signed a blood pact with the little thieving cat with the help of Li Folu. It was a binding blood pact. At this moment, no matter how one looked at it, the little thieving cat was able to draw a powerful enemy from the outside world to its master. This was enough to prove its determination to betray its master. What do you want? The little thieving cat is my spirit pet. Since you know that it has signed a spirit pet blood contract with me, do you still want to steal it? Zhao Feng snorted coldly. The spiritual pet blood contract was extremely restrictive, and it was an unequal blood contract. Zhao Feng had great control over the little thieving cat and could even control its life and death. Furthermore, once Zhao Feng died, as a spirit pet it would suffer a backlash and wouldn't have a good ending. Unless Zhao Feng was willing to remove the blood contract. With Yi Yenyu's level, it was impossible for her not to know this. However, since she had come with the little thieving cat to find Zhao Feng, she was obviously prepared. As long as you're willing to tell me how to enter the Purple Saint ruins and remove the blood contract with the little thieving cat, not only will I not make it hard for you, I'll even recommend you to join the Pure Moon spiritual sect. With your talent, you can at least become an inner disciple in the Pure Moon spiritual sect and even become a core disciple. Yi Yanyu said with a smile. Her voice was still clear and sweet, like the sounds of nature. What should have been a matter of coercion became a favor for Zhao Feng in her eyes. Of course. For most geniuses and even Zhao Feng, being able to join the Pure Moon spiritual sect was a huge leap. A 2.5-star sect was more than 10 times stronger than the 10 great clans of the Azure Flower continent. Some of the sects under the Pure Moon spiritual sect had the power to sweep the 10 great clans of the Azure Flower continent and were stronger than the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. Firstly, entering the Purple Saint ruins was an accident. Even I don't know the reason and have no way to tell you. Secondly, the little thieving cat is my spiritual pet and I won't give it to anyone else. Zhao Feng said decisively. Especially the last one. Once the blood contract was removed, Yi Yanyu wouldn't have anything to fear towards Zhao Feng. Currently, Yi Yanyu loved the little thieving cat and was slightly wary of attacking Zhao Feng. Meow meow. The little thieving cat gestured at Yi Yanyu. Oh? Even if you die, you'll force him to remove the blood contract? Don't worry, I'll make him obediently surrender. Yi Yanyu rubbed the little thieving cat's head and comforted. She couldn't help but feel pity for Zhao Feng. Just how much did he torture the little thieving cat that it would rather die than remove the blood contract? Chiao! With a flash of lightning, only Zhao Feng's afterimage was left. A moment later, Zhao Feng charged into the ancient forest on the other side, his body flickering as he vanished. He ran. Zhao Feng was always calm and Yi Yanyu's cultivation had reached the late stages of the true lord rank and was definitely stronger than the flooding Lake City lord. Her strength might even be comparable to the deputy patriarch of the Iron Blood religion. Shua! Zhao Feng's figure dimmed as he hid in the forest and created a doppelganger that ran in the opposite direction to attract the enemy's attention. However, just as Zhao Feng ran 1 or 2 miles away, a goddess in a green dress appeared in front of him. She seemed to have appeared out of nowhere and was inspecting him with a smile. So this is the strength of the late stages of the true lord rank. Zhao Feng's heart dropped. He gritted his teeth as an ice thunder profound flower burst forth from the center of his palm. It bloomed magnificently and expanded to an area of over 100 meters, and it carried a terrifying might as it swept out and engulfed Yi Yanyu. Boom! Boom! The nearby trees were instantly destroyed and charred black. Before the dust settled, Zhao Feng's expression froze and revealed a look of shock. Yi Yanyu's body was still floating on the tree with a layer of water surrounding her. It was as if she was in a dream. Not only was she unharmed, not even a single leaf fell from the tree. That attack just then was comparable to an overwhelming prodigy from the sacred true dragon gathering, but Zhao Feng's surprise wasn't just an act. Yi Yanyu was very satisfied with Zhao Feng's expression. Shua! Yi Yanyu only left an afterimage on the tree. Not good. Just as Zhao Feng was about to move, a slender hand slapped his shoulder. An ocean-like chi of true spirit instantly sealed the chi of true spirit within his body. Meow meow. The little thieving cat threw out the mystic snake blood whip and wrapped around Zhao Feng's body with a smug expression. How about it? What do you think of my suggestion? Yi Yanyu smiled faintly. No room for discussion. Zhao Feng decisively said, if you force me, then don't blame me for taking you down with me. I'll bury this thieving cat with me. No matter what. Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat had signed a spiritual pet blood contract. Once a blood contract was signed, the life and death of the spiritual pet would be controlled by the owner. How about this, as long as it's not too much, you can ask for anything. Of course, I won't let you go before you cancel the blood contract. Yi Yanyu's eyebrows furrowed and felt her head hurt. She had already displayed her strength and the opponent had no way to resist. However, Zhao Feng's heart was cold and he had the killing move of the spiritual pet blood contract. At worst, he would just die together. Requests. Zhao Feng seemed to be moved. This was a good chance to negotiate. Yi Yanyu let out a breath seeing that he was moved. Everything in this world had its value, including spiritual pets. As long as Zhao Feng was willing to give a price, Yi Yanyu was confident. Firstly, you must guarantee my safety and not restrict my freedom. For example, sealing my chi of true spirit or binding my hands and feet. Secondly, everything I get in the ruins belongs to me. If needed, you must even help me. Thirdly, after leaving the ruins, you must guarantee that I can become a disciple of the Pure Moon spiritual sect. Zhao Feng stated his requests one by one. Yi Yanyu immediately agreed to the first. In her eyes, Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to escape from her grasp. I won't restrict your freedom, but you must promise not to leave a 3-mile radius. Yi Yanyu said. Yi Yanyu also agreed to the second condition, but she had a limit. She could only help Zhao Feng 3 times at most. As for the rewards, she wouldn't interfere if it was Zhao Feng's. For example, the Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King that Zhao Feng had just obtained belonged to Zhao Feng. The third request was also what Yi Yanyu wanted. Zhao Feng entering the Purple Saint Ruins was extremely weird and needed to be investigated by the elders of the clan. Furthermore, once Zhao Feng fell into the hands of the elders, the problem of the spiritual pet blood contract could be easily solved. At that time, Yi Yanyu would be in control. Lastly, your promise must be fulfilled before I'm willing to dissolve the spiritual pet blood contract. The premise is that the little thieving cat is willing. Zhao Feng's request was finished. Yi Yanyu basically agreed to it, but she made some reasonable and perfect changes. Little thieving cat, let go of your previous owner. Yi Yanyu smiled. She purposely emphasized the word former when she mentioned her previous master. Zhao Feng was expressionless. After being released, Yi Yanyu indeed unsealed his chi of true spirit. As soon as he regained his freedom, Zhao Feng turned and left. Although your speed isn't bad, you don't have any chance in front of me. Yi Yanyu warned faintly. Zhao Feng ignored her. He returned to the crack in the wall and sat down cross-legged. He then took out the Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King. What are you doing? Yi Yanyu paused. Now I'm going into seclusion. Zhao Feng slowly ate a Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King and closed his eyes to cultivate. Seclusion. Just as you said, after eating a Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King, I have a 50% chance of reaching the late stages of the true mystic rank. And you will protect me. Chapter 400. According to the agreement, if there was a need, Yi Yanyu would help Zhao Feng 3 times. Zhao Feng didn't hesitate to use this opportunity to increase his cultivation strength. Although this mysterious canyon was filled with danger and many geniuses were active, with Yi Yanyu, a late-stage true lord rank, who could come close? Alright, I'll protect you. Yi Yanyu was angry and amused at the same time. A mocking smile appeared on her face. To her, it didn't matter if Zhao Feng was at the early stages or late stages of the true mystic rank. If she wanted to make a move, Zhao Feng would not be able to fight back. The gap between the two of them was simply too great. They were not on the same level at all. Therefore, even if Zhao Feng reached the late stages of the true mystic rank or even the peak stages of the true mystic rank, Yi Yanyu wouldn't mind. Unless Zhao Feng broke through to the true lord rank, only then would he be able to cause her some trouble. Zhao Feng understood what Yi Yanyu was thinking, which was why he was so fearless and openly raising his cultivation. He closed his eyes and released the majestic and pure medicinal energy of the Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King. He guided the pure energy within to circulate within his body and absorb it as much as possible. According to Yi Yanyu, there was a 50% chance that Zhao Feng would be able to improve his cultivation after consuming the Heavenly Dark Pearl Fruit King. Zhao Feng did some calculations and found that the difference was not that big. In reality, there was a large gap between the early stages of the true mystic rank and the late stages. Normal geniuses, if they were in the Green Flower Continent's environment, 10 years was normal. However, this was the Purple Saint Ruins and the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi here was 10 times denser than the Azure Flower Continent. The Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi here was 10 times purer than the normal parts of the Purple Saint Ruins. This way, Zhao Feng could enjoy a cultivation environment that was 100 times better than the Green Flower Continent. This was only one of the reasons. Secondly, Zhao Feng had used the Dark Water Heart Pulse to strengthen his body and open his meridians. His foundation had increased from the early stages of the true mystic rank and his foundation was extremely firm. Thirdly, Zhao Feng had the mental energy of a true lord rank. The third point was the most important. Once one reached the true lord rank, they would be able to summon the Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi and their cultivation would increase. This allowed Zhao Feng, who was only at the true mystic rank, to quickly increase his cultivation. Only the mental energy level of the true Lord rank can absorb and convert the power of the Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King, or else it will just be wasted. As Zhao Feng thought of this, he became even more fearful of Yi Yanyu. Taking into account all of these factors, Zhao Feng only had a 50 to 60% chance of breaking through. It was obvious that Yi Yanyu could see that Zhao Feng's mental energy level had reached the true Lord rank. However, the only thing she doesn't know is the ability of my God's spiritual eye and the source of true spirit sealed in my body that can be burned at any time. Zhao Feng weighed the pros and cons. Yi Yanyu came from a 2-star sect, so her cultivation, strength, and experience were all extremely high. Although she could see that Zhao Feng had an eye bloodline, she didn't take it to heart. Qi Gui of the Black Cliff Palace also had a powerful eye bloodline, but when he saw him, he still avoided him. 4 hours later, Zhao Feng had absorbed most of the Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King's power thanks to his true Lord rank mental energy level. If it was any other genius, they wouldn't have any hope of breaking through in a short amount of time even if they had such an ancient fruit. After that, Zhao Feng used the power of the Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King's core. The core's power was purer and could cleanse and strengthen one's body as well as replenish one's yuan qi. As time passed, Zhao Feng's aura rose bit by bit. Yi Yanyu kept her promise and protected Zhao Feng, only moving around within a 3-mile radius and collecting some ancient resources. In the depths of the canyon, the figures of some outer realm geniuses would occasionally appear. As soon as they approached this area, they would sense Yi Yanyu's aura and immediately retreat. The nearby beasts were also cleared out by Yi Yanyu. Therefore, Zhao Feng's seclusion was abnormally safe and he wasn't disturbed at all. At a certain moment, in the crevice, Zhao Feng's aura rose to the extreme. With a wang, he felt his qi of true spirit flash with lightning and his source of true spirit became purer and more abundant. At the same time, his body and bones were filled with a powerful force. Just his body alone was close to the true mystic rank. After all, the core of the Sky Dark Pearl Fruit King had the effect of cleansing and strengthening the body. It didn't clash with the water heart pulse and could even complement each other. My body, cultivation and strength have all increased. Zhao Feng nodded his head in his heart. He opened his God's spiritual eye and found that Yi Yanyu and the little thieving cat were mining a rare crystal mine. And, there's still some time. Zhao Feng took some time and his consciousness entered the Black Lotus. Inside the Black Lotus there was a dimension that stored ghost masters and it was filled with the air of death and evil. Amongst them, the 2 green bronze ghost corpses were the strongest and their battle power was close to the peak true mystic rank. Apart from that, there were also more than a dozen ghosts, zombies, skeletons, etc. whose strength ranged from the true human rank to the late stages of the true mystic rank. Zhao Feng faintly released the aura of his God's spiritual eye and made these ghosts tremble as he easily branded them. He then used these ghosts as fertilizer to feed the 2 green bronze ghost corpses. If it was the Black Lotus girl from before, she definitely wouldn't be willing to do this. Different types of ghosts could deal with different situations and it was too extreme to develop one. However, Zhao Feng obviously only needed 2 meat shields or ghost guards. He didn't need to think so much. The ghosts especially focused on mental energy attacks which Zhao Feng specialized in and didn't need. Very soon, all the specters inside the Black Lotus ghost artifact were turned into nourishment. The 2 green bronze ghost corpses were currently devouring the air of death, and corpse left behind by these ghosts. In just a day and a half, these 2 green bronze ghost corpses will have battle power comparable to the peak true mystic rank. Zhao Feng nodded his head in his heart. He didn't need to worry about this anymore. Coincidentally at this moment, Yi Yanyu took the little thieving cat to where Zhao Feng was in seclusion. Okay, I've wasted a lot of time protecting you. Yi Yanyu glanced coldly at Zhao Feng. Without saying anything else, Zhao Feng got up and left with Yi Yanyu. Yi Yanyu led the way towards the depths of the canyon and wasn't worried that Zhao Feng would run away. This mysterious canyon retained much of its original appearance from the ancient era. In particular, some precious materials that were extinct in the outside world would occasionally appear here. As Zhao Feng walked, his god's spiritual eye would occasionally find some rare fruits and treasures and he would take them out. At the beginning, Yi Yanyu didn't pay attention. But after that, the number of times Zhao Feng found rare treasures was much more than her who was at the late-stage True Lord rank. Yi Yanyu finally understood why Zhao Feng had stated in the agreement that everything he obtained belonged to him alone. Looks like his eye bloodline isn't the battle type but the support type. Yi Yanyu didn't put it to heart. Being the prodigy of the Pure Moon spiritual sect, she had seen many geniuses with eye bloodlines and some of them had even been defeated by her. Meow meow. The little thieving cat grinned and suddenly threw the old bronze coin in its hand before pointing in a certain direction. Zhao Feng glared at it. Every time this thieving cat divined the way, there was no telling what the result would be. Thinking about the trip to the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground, Zhao Feng's heart was still beating fast. Chapter 401. Even if the little thieving cat changed owners, it wouldn't be able to change its nature. However, Yi Yanyu believed in its divination and guidance without a doubt. Ever since she met the little thieving cat, Yi Yanyu's luck in the ruins had been good and even this canyon was guided by the little thieving cat. In her heart, the little thieving cat was her lucky cat. Zhao Feng expressionlessly followed the human and cat. According to the direction the little thieving cat pointed, a patch of green grass appeared in front of them. The heaven-earth yuan qi here was more active and any random grass was 1 or 2 people tall. Roar! Pang! Pang! Boom! From the depths of the grass came the roar of a beast accompanied by the sound of heavy footsteps. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye had already caught the tracks of some powerful beasts. If he was alone, he would definitely retreat. One had to know that the beasts in the Purple Saint ruins were comparable to the True Lord rank and this mysterious canyon was even more so. However, with Yi Yanyu leading the way, Zhao Feng didn't need to worry. Just 100 yards into the grass, a large group of ironback raging bulls appeared in front of them. Their backs had spikes and their bodies were unimaginably tough. As they moved, the ground shook. Ironback raging bull, a rare beast with a faint ancient bloodline. It's powerful and violent and can usually crush beasts of the same rank. When it goes berserk, it can activate its bloodline and increase its battle power. Zhao Feng recognized the origin of this rare beast. Rare breeds like the ironback raging bull were almost extinct in the Azure Flower continent and were only recorded in ancient records or some with impure bloodlines. The weakest of these ironback raging bulls was comparable to the true human rank and many of them were at the true mystic rank. The strongest ironback raging bull's battle power was close to the True Lord rank and it was the king of this group. Zhao Feng and company entered the territory of the ironback raging bulls and were instantly attacked. The ironback raging bull was hot-tempered and had an ancient bloodline. Even if it was attacked by a True Lord rank, it still dared to fight. Rumble, over 100 iron-backed wild bulls caused the earth and valley to tremble. Dust billowed as they charged towards Zhao Feng's group. Yi Yanyu smiled indifferently. She waved her jade-like hand, and a ripple appeared on the pure moonlight. It contained a deadly sharpness, and with a swoosh sound, it flew forward. On the surface, Yi Yanyu's attack was like quicksilver flowing on the ground, graceful and gentle, without much might. However, Zhao Feng's pupils constricted while a wisp of astonishment appeared on his face. Back in the sacred True Dragon gathering, Yu Tianhao and Xian Wuheng's clash seemed simple but their control and condensed power had reached the extreme. Each of their actions contained an extraordinary intent that killed people of the same cultivation as if they were ants. Yi Yanyu's situation was even more natural. Puff! Puff! The numerous iron-backed raging bulls that were charging over were pierced by the moonlight that was as clear as mercury, and their bodies suddenly stiffened. In the next instant, blood poured out of the iron-backed raging bulls' pores and their bodies were dyed red as they fell to the ground dead. Bystanders might not be able to see anything. However, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye could clearly see what was going on. The moonlight pierced through the iron-backed raging bull's skin, pores, and organs. In other words, each iron-backed raging bull was riddled with holes by the invisible moonlight. No matter how hard the outer hide was, the organs would have no life after being pierced by thousands of small holes. Yi Yanyu had easily killed dozens of iron-backed raging bulls in one move. If it was Zhao Feng, he definitely wouldn't have the ability to do so. This was because these iron-backed raging bulls had extremely strong defense. He could kill one with one palm or kill one with a glance, but killing dozens in one move was something that even normal True Lord ranks couldn't do. Yi Yanyu killing a large number of iron-backed raging bulls in one move instantly enraged the raging bulls. Seeing so many of their kind die, the eyes of the raging bulls went red and a layer of dark red blood appeared on their bodies as their battle power rose dramatically. When the iron-backed raging bulls go berserk, their battle power will multiply. Zhao Feng felt a strong pressure and his blood stopped flowing. The raging iron-backed raging bulls could definitely charge towards the True Lord rank. The iron-backed raging bull king was 10 yards long and 6 to 7 yards tall. Its battle power was comparable to the True Lord rank. If it was Zhao Feng, he would definitely hide as far away as possible and not want to fight it head-on. Yi Yanyu smiled. Her untainted body floated onto the back of the iron-backed raging bull king. A ripple of moonlight surrounded Yi Yanyu's body. She was like a goddess under the moon, shining with the light of the stars, sun, and moon. She was boundlessly powerful and directly pressed the iron-backed raging bull king to the ground. Meow meow. The little thieving cat jumped excitedly and waved its mystic snake blood whip around the iron-backed raging bull king's body and started to absorb its blood essence. No wonder. Zhao Feng revealed a thoughtful expression. Although the iron-backed raging bull king's battle power was comparable to the initial True Lord rank, it was extremely easy for Yi Yanyu to kill it. However, the quality of the little thieving cat's mystic snake blood whip would increase after absorbing powerful bloodlines. The stronger the bloodline it absorbed, the stronger the mystic snake blood whip's agility and power would increase. At this moment, the mystic snake blood whip's quality and power had already surpassed a normal middle-tier spiritual-grade weapons and was even slightly stronger than Zhao Feng's Luo Hou Bao. Shua! Zhao Feng waved his hand and summoned the 2 green bronze ghost corpses, letting them absorb some of the iron-backed raging bull king's flesh and blood. At this point in time, the 2 green bronze ghost corpses' battle power was comparable to the peak true mystic rank and absorbing some ancient bloodlines was beneficial to them. Yi Yanyu glanced at them faintly but didn't say anything. To her, these iron-backed raging bulls and Zhao Feng's green bronze ghost corpses were all ants that could be destroyed with a flick of her finger. A while later, the iron-backed raging bull king died, leaving behind hundreds of iron-backed raging bull corpses. Meow meow. The little thieving cat was full and arrogant as it continued to lead the way, making Yi Yanyu smile. Zhao Feng was expressionless and on the way, his god's spiritual eye would find some ancient resources and collect them. Yi Yanyu led the way and killed some strong Yao beasts while Zhao Feng followed behind to pick up the loot. The parts of the corpses of those powerful rare beasts were all priceless in the Green Flower continent. Zhao Feng's hands went soft and his interspatial space wasn't big enough. Yi Yanyu, on the other hand, was very calm and would only take out precious resources. It was obvious that the clan she was in was extremely rich and dozens of times better than the 10 great clans of the continent. After walking to a certain place, the ground ahead started to tremble and screams sounded, almost piercing through the clouds with an aura of fear. Zhao Feng's blood trembled and his chi of true spirit was slightly suppressed as his bloodline power reacted. The ancient bloodline aura is more than 10 times purer than the iron-backed raging bulls. Zhao Feng's heart jumped. This was the first time he had felt such a strong aura and ancient bloodline since entering the Purple Saint ruins. In the depths of the grass, in front of a large cave, more than a dozen figures were fighting against a black scorpion the size of a small mountain. Ding ding ding, the black scorpion's body seemed to be made of black steel and glittered with a cold metallic light. Sparks flew from its surface as it took the attacks. Some peak true mystic rank attacks couldn't even leave a mark on it. The more than a dozen figures tried their best to distance themselves from it and were extremely cautious. There were already 4 or 5 corpses from the Moon Demon Palace and Black Cliff Palace. Everyone be careful. This ancient scorpion is poisonous and anyone under the Origin Core realm will die. Keep your distance. The nose-pierced youth Chi Gui commanded the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace to fight against the scorpion. Apart from Chi Gui, there was also the blood-robed youth from the Moon Demon Palace. Chapter 402. Yi Yanyu and Zhao Feng watched and didn't interfere. Zhao Feng knew that he wasn't strong enough to turn the situation around. Maybe Yi Yanyu wanted to reap the benefits and just watched with a smile. The two groups that were fighting the ancient scorpion were no fools. They looked at Yi Yanyu warily and warily. Change of plans, Yi Yanyu's here. Chi Gui suddenly waved his hand and the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace retreated to catch their breaths. Chi Gui and the blood-robed True Lord rank from the Moon Demon Palace exchanged glances. The two groups retreated from the ring. They couldn't take down the ancient scorpion anyways and the latter would only defend the entrance to the cave. When Chi Gui saw Zhao Feng, the white flames in his eyes suddenly constricted. Although he had never seen Zhao Feng before, he was extremely familiar with Zhao Feng's aura. If it wasn't for Yi Yanyu, the people from the Black Cliff Palace would have attacked and killed Zhao Feng already. As long as I'm with Yi Yanyu, no one in the Purple Saint Ruins will dare to attack me. Zhao Feng knew this very clearly. In terms of cultivation, Yi Yanyu had reached the late stages of the True Lord rank and suppressed Chi Gui and the other True Lord rank. Furthermore, Yi Yanyu came from the strongest Pure Moon spiritual sect and her strength could be ranked in the top 3 of the 10 True Lord ranks. Chi Gui and the blood-robed youth teamed up to fight against Yi Yanyu. Invisibly, Yi Yanyu became one of Zhao Feng's protection in the Purple Saint Ruins. If he was alone, it wouldn't be easy for him to survive in the Purple Saint Ruins and the inheritance would be 10 times harder. Shwa shwa. Chi Gui and the blood-robed youth flew out and faced Yi Yanyu. The 3 True Lord ranks started to negotiate. Yi Yanyu, you've come at the right time. Let's team up and kill the scorpion or lure it away. Chi Gui suggested. The blood-robed youth nodded his head. The two of them weren't the scorpion's match even if they teamed up. Even if they could kill the giant scorpion, it was unknown how many people would survive. Since Yi Yanyu was here, rather than letting her reap the benefits, it was better to let her join in. Firstly, they could reduce the pressure and casualties, increasing their chances of winning against the giant scorpion. Secondly, Yi Yanyu was alone. Oh no, there were only 2 of them. When they entered the cave, they would not be able to compete with them in terms of numbers. Therefore, Chi Gui and the 2 True Lord ranks suggestion was indeed wise. Yi Yanyu stood on the spot with a cold expression. She did not say anything. Seeing this, the blood-robed youth hurriedly said, Fairy Yi, Brother Chi's ghost went in to explore just now. There are many rare treasures in the cave. The reason why the ancient giant scorpion guarded the cave to death was because there were a few pure-blooded giant scorpion younglings inside. I believe that Fairy Yi can predict this. Oh? A pure-blooded infant giant scorpion? Yi Yanyu was slightly interested. Everyone had seen the ancient scorpion's battle power and it didn't fear 4 or 5 True Lord ranks. The giant scorpion's bloodline was strong and contained poison that could kill even a True Lord rank. If it wasn't for the fact that the ghost of the Black Cliff Palace was immune to the poison, even 2 more True Lord ranks wouldn't have a chance of winning. This kind of ancient rare beast with a high-grade bloodline was priceless in the outside world. It was even more precious than an adult rare beast. The young of a rare beast was easy to take in as a spirit pet. It had great potential, and if it was raised from a young age, its loyalty would be high. If it was raised by the sect, after several years, it could become a powerful spirit beast that guarded the mountain. To an individual, it could accompany its master as he grew, becoming a powerful spirit pet. This giant scorpion is a top-tier battle-type pet. Its offense and defense are both strong and it contains a fatal poison. Zhao Feng had seen the ancient scorpion's abilities and it was perfect in every aspect. His eyes couldn't help but drift as he compared the little thieving cat to the giant scorpion. In terms of battle power and damage, the little thieving cat could only do nothing and was just a scammer. Zhao Feng's actions also fell into Yi Yenyu's eyes and a smile appeared on her lips. The Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi in the cave is extremely unique, and for the ancient scorpion to take it for it to make everyone work so hard, its value shouldn't just be limited to the infant scorpion, right? Zhao Feng suddenly interrupted. Qi Gui and the blood-robed true lord ranks both paused and glanced at the blue-haired youth. Zhao Feng had been standing behind Yi Yenyu the entire time and they didn't know who this youth was. However, since he dared to interrupt and Yi Yenyu didn't say anything, maybe he had already joined the Pure Moon spiritual sect side. With this brat's eye bloodline, it's very likely that Yi Yenyu has an important position. Qi Gui and company were more and more wary of Zhao Feng. The geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace knew Zhao Feng's strength and methods. However, they wouldn't have guessed the special relationship between Zhao Feng and Yi Yenyu. Yi Yenyu was too lazy to say more and missed the chance to understand Zhao Feng's true strength. Ahem, it's like this. In that cave, there is indeed a treasure land. There are some ancient treasures, such as the earth-eaten poison mushroom, the blood-glass fruit, the life-restoring grass, and so on. The blood-robed youth explained. Speaking up to here, Yi Yenyu's expression changed. The resources the blood-robed youth casually mentioned were enough to make the eyes of true lord ranks go red and even those at the origin core realm drool. Earth-eaten poison mushroom must be nurtured in a special mystic-eaten treasure ground and can only be born after tens of thousands of years. This mushroom is the best for raising ghost corpses and is also one of the ingredients for creating heaven and earth poisons. Blood-glass fruit, an extinct natural treasure that gathers the essence of the earth's blood and yin energy. It can increase one's level of life and greatly increase one's cultivation. It has double the effect for experts of the Tao of blood. When Zhao Feng heard about these two treasures, his heart began to beat wildly. No wonder even with Yi Yenyu's experience, she was somewhat moved. This blood-glass fruit is definitely a supreme treasure in the Azure Flower continent. If the Scarlet Moon Patriarch doesn't die and eats one or two, he'll probably recover quickly. If I can get one, even if I don't cultivate the Tao of blood, I'll definitely be able to break through to the true lord rank. Zhao Feng's heart sped up. One blood-glass fruit could increase Zhao Feng's strength by leaps and bounds and even give him a chance to turn the tables. If the blood-glass fruit was given to normal late-stage true mystic rank or peak true mystic rank, it would be wasted. However, Zhao Feng had reached the true lord rank and could absorb a large portion of the energy. If he ate one and went into seclusion for half a month, he would be able to break through to the true lord rank. The blood-glass fruit could even benefit those at the origin core realm, let alone those at the true spirit realm. Unfortunately, the Azure Flower continent didn't have such resources. The other mentioned earth-eaten poison mushroom and life-returning grass were at least top-notch treasures on the same level as the blood-glass fruit. Life-returning grass. Zhao Feng suddenly thought of something. Life-returning grass, a wondrous item of the heavens and earth. As long as one has a breath of life, no matter how strong a fatal injury is, it can reverse yin and yang. The elixir of life from the life-returning grass can heal any injury or extend one's life. Suddenly, a voice appeared in Zhao Feng's mind, everything depends on your fortune. If you want to repay this old man, become famous in the sacred true dragon gathering and try to reach the top 20. If you can help this old man obtain the elixir of life, decaying life rejuvenation pill, and other similar life-prolonging items, this old man will be endlessly grateful. Back in the main headquarters of the Iron Blood religion, the red-haired elder that Timo had recommended to Zhao Feng had said this. Because of that elder, Zhao Feng had stepped onto the path of the soul and opened his eyes to bloodline techniques. The elixir of life that the mysterious old man needed could be nurtured by the life-returning grass in this cave. It could be said that the life-returning grass was even more precious than the elixir of life. At this moment, Zhao Feng and Yi Yanyu finally understood why the ancient scorpion was guarding the cave. It wasn't just guarding its cub, it was also a treasure ground. Let's team up and kill the scorpion. As for what's in the cave, it'll depend on our own abilities. Qi Gui and company didn't hide anything. If there weren't enough benefits, they wouldn't be able to use Yi Yanyu. Zhao Feng could imagine that there were probably more than 2 or 3 treasures like the blood glass fruit. Thinking up to here, his heart was filled with excitement and anticipation. Not long after, the 3 true Lord ranks reached an agreement and attacked the ancient scorpion together. The Pure Moon Spiritual Sect, Moon Demon Palace and Black Cliff Palace teamed up. Hu Shua. This time, Qi Gui summoned 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. Apart from the silver-striped skeleton, there was also a blood-silver corpse. These 2 ghost corpses were 2 to 3 yards tall and had a dark aura. They didn't fear the scorpion's poison and teamed up to block the ancient scorpion. This Qi Gui has 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. Zhao Feng was surprised and envious. The Black Cliff Palace's ghost corpses were indeed the key to killing the ancient scorpion. They countered the ancient scorpion to a certain degree and could fight it head-on. A blood moon blade appeared in the hand of the blood-robed true lord rank of the Moon Demon Palace. Wang Hu. He waved the blood moon blade and a wave of blood dyed the air red. One could faintly see a blood-colored crescent that kept on eroding the ancient crocodile. Yi Yanyu's strength was even stronger than Qi Gui and the blood-robed true lord rank. She waved her hand and a ripple of mercury connected with heaven and earth and formed a transparent mercury sword that pierced through the night. When she attacked, even the ancient scorpion revealed wariness in its eyes. Qi Gui and the blood-robed youth looked at each other with solemn expressions. This Yi Yanyu has trained the Moonflower spiritual sword technique to such a high level. She can probably cut my true lord rank skeleton in half with just one sword. Qi Gui was stunned. She's hard to find an opponent under the Origin Core realm. The blood-robed youth couldn't help but take a deep breath. Of the 3 factions, the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace had sent more than a dozen elites while the Pure Moon Spiritual Sect had only sent Yi Yanyu to suppress the other 2. Looks like this girl's battle power is very likely on the level of the Deputy Patriarch of the Iron Blood religion. Zhao Feng couldn't help but raise his opinion of Yi Yanyu. At the same time, cunningness flashed in the little thieving cat's eyes as it looked at Zhao Feng for the first time. Zhao Feng looked deeply at it. Thieving cat, your plan is indeed exquisite, but it's also extremely dangerous. That Yi Yanyu and the Pure Moon spiritual sect behind her aren't just a normal terrifying force. Chapter 403. The Purple Saint Ruins was controlled by the 3 sects and other forces couldn't touch it. The geniuses that entered the ruins all belonged to their own factions and had their own inheritance tokens. An outsider that didn't belong to any of the 3 factions wouldn't be able to take a single step in the ruins, let alone fight against these geniuses. However, with the little thieving cat's betrayal, these problems were solved. Although Zhao Feng was being held hostage by Yi Yanyu, he was able to solve the danger and awkwardness of being an outsider. At least he wasn't everyone's target anymore. Even more so, Zhao Feng had joined the strongest Pure Moon spiritual sect and even the Black Cliff Palace couldn't do anything about it. What he needed to do right now was to observe the open and secret struggles of the 3 sides as the 4th, and seek his own interests at the most critical moment. This was just the general idea of the plan. The actual implementation was the most crucial test of wisdom and courage. The plan was led by the little thieving cat. It had purposely drawn Yi Yanyu to Zhao Feng's side. It seemed like she was bringing danger, but in reality, she was giving Zhao Feng shelter and a chance to develop further. Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat's thoughts were connected and they immediately acted out. Of course, behind this ingenious plan, there was also great danger. Once he was exposed, Zhao Feng would be in danger and at least in front of Yi Yanyu, he wouldn't be able to fight back. The more benefits I get, the more danger I face. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled, but he soon calmed himself down and acted as if nothing had happened. Every step was crucial and the slightest mistake could cause everything to be lost. But the more it was at this moment, the calmer Zhao Feng became, and the blood in his body seemed to be burning with excitement. At this moment, the combined forces of the three true Lord ranks and the true Mystic rank elites started an intense battle with the Scorpion. The ancient Scorpion's defense was extremely strong and even those at the true Lord rank found it hard to break through. Even those at the true Lord rank wouldn't be able to escape death from its poison. Luckily, Qi Gui from the Black Cliff Palace controlled two true Lord rank ghost corpses and was able to stall the Scorpion. The blood-robed true Lord rank waved his blood moon blade and the sky was dyed red as it started to erode the crocodile's wound. As long as there was a small wound, the blood-robed true Lord rank's blood Dao attack would corrode and even corrode the organs. If it was a normal true Lord rank, Qi Gui and the blood-robed true Lord rank teamed up and could finish it off in an instant. However, the ancient Scorpion's life force was extremely strong and the two true Lord rank ghost corpses could only cause some superficial wounds. The blood-robed true Lord rank's blood moon blade couldn't break through the Scorpion's defense and could only slowly erode it. The main force was Yi Yanyu. She used the Moonlight Spirit Sword art to control the transparent Mercury sword that pierced through the night sky. Every slash represented the piercing of thousands of rays of moonlight. Every time Yi Yanyu attacked, she would leave a trail of blood on the Scorpion's body. If it was a normal true Lord rank, Yi Yanyu's profound sword technique would be able to kill them in 1 or 2 hits. However, after 7 or 8 slashes, the ancient Scorpion was only slightly injured. This ancient Scorpion is indeed worthy of being a beast with a pure bloodline. Even those at the half-step origin core realm can't beat it head-on. Zhao Feng couldn't help but praise from afar. As a result, the giant Scorpion cub in the cave became even more popular. In theory, when 3 true Lord ranks teamed up and the true Mystic rank elites surrounded them, their battle power was comparable to 7 or 8 true Lord ranks. Yi Yanyu alone had the battle power of 3 to 4 normal true Lord ranks. Qi Gui had the battle power of at least 2 true Lord ranks. After all, he controlled 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. This lineup could only suppress the ancient Scorpion in a short amount of time and couldn't finish it off. The ancient Scorpion is guarding the cave. If it wants to run, the difficulty of killing it will be several times higher. As the fourth, Zhao Feng could see the situation clearly. Of course. He couldn't just sit there and do nothing. Whoosh! 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 A few dazzling ice and thunder arrows guided lightning and cold wind as they fiercely struck the outer shell of the giant Scorpion. The arrows of ice and lightning were extremely powerful and were close to the attacks of normal true Lord ranks. Furthermore, every time the arrows of ice and lightning hit the target, the power of ice and lightning would explode. Although it couldn't do any actual damage to the Scorpion, it could slow it down. Many of the geniuses present looked at Zhao Feng in surprise. Zhao Feng's long-range attacks were extremely powerful and could slow the Scorpion down. This was very useful to the group. The Scorpion was slowed down and its threat to the nearby geniuses was greatly reduced. Although the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace hated Zhao Feng, they had to admit that this guy was only second to the 3 true Lord ranks. An extremely small number of the geniuses under the 3 true Lord ranks had attacks that could be compared to Zhao Feng, but they didn't dare to do it so often in case the Scorpion counterattacked. On the other hand, Zhao Feng was far away and didn't have to worry about anything. His attacks were only second to the 3 true Lord ranks. The numbing effect he had on the Scorpion was something the other geniuses couldn't compare to. Even Yi Yanyu couldn't help but nod her head. With Zhao Feng's potential, if he joined the Pure Moon spiritual sect, he could at least become an inner disciple. The only suspicious point was that this guy's background was unknown. Time passed. The ancient Scorpion's injuries kept on increasing and the blood-robed true Lord rank's corrosive effect spread to its organs. Zhao Feng's arrows of ice and lightning continued on the scorpion's body. Yi Yanyu was very smart and first cut off the scorpion's tail to affect its balance before targeting its limbs. At the end, the ancient scorpion couldn't withstand everyone's intelligence and cooperation and was heavily injured. More importantly, its tail and limbs had been cut off and it couldn't even run. Soon. It won't last long. We'll finish it in an hour at most. Everyone's battle intent rose as they increased their attacks. Boom! At a certain moment, the ancient scorpion's mountain-like body fell to the ground. Before it died, it launched a ferocious counterattack, forcibly leaping thousands of feet and tearing two geniuses of the Moon Demon Palace to pieces. One of the geniuses from the Black Cliff Palace had his skin cut by the scorpion's poison and died in just a few breaths. Everyone's hearts trembled. The counterattack of the ancient scorpion could even rip a true lord rank to shreds. Qi Gui's silver-patterned skeleton had been split into two. Luckily, this kind of dead object could be repaired with sufficient materials and resources. Zhao Feng had already disappeared the instant before the giant scorpion exploded, hiding in a crack in the wall a mile away. When the scorpion died, Zhao Feng quickly ran towards its corpse. Yi Yanyu glanced thoughtfully at Zhao Feng. The last counterattack of the ancient scorpion seemed to be aimed towards Zhao Feng's direction. During the battle, Zhao Feng's Luoho Bao had a numbing effect which obviously made the scorpion hate him. However, this guy had the furthest range and was hiding the furthest. Next, the three parties started to discuss how to split the ancient scorpion's body. Yi Yanyu wasn't very interested in the scorpion's body apart from the inner core and pincers. Her focus was on the youngling scorpion and the treasures in the cave. However, Zhao Feng was even more enthusiastic than her. He took out a sharp divine weapon and cut open the torn flesh, carefully extracting a pitch-black sack of flesh the size of a fist. This was the ancient scorpion's poison sac. I only want this. Zhao Feng said nothing and put away the poison sac. He had put in so much effort just now because he wanted this item. Thinking about it, Yi Yanyu, who was a pure and righteous fairy, would not be interested in a dirty poison sac. The ancient scorpion's poison sac. The poison of that giant scorpion is fatal and the value of the poison sac is only below the inner core. Those from the Black Cliff Palace were instantly dissatisfied. In reality, the giant scorpion's poison sac was very useful to the Black Cliff Palace. The Black Cliff Palace belonged to the wicked path of ghost corpses and their poison was like adding wings to a tiger. The giant scorpion's poison sac was a peerless material. However, Zhao Feng's speed was too fast. His god's spiritual eye was very accurate and found the location of the poison sac and took it away through the wound. However, those from the Black Cliff Palace couldn't do anything. Yi Yanyu and Zhao Feng played a big part in killing the ancient scorpion. Zhao Feng's role was only below the 3 true lord ranks in reducing the number of casualties. Yi Yanyu didn't say anything. She was slightly disgusted by the poison sac and had no interest in it. Furthermore, according to the previous agreement, Zhao Feng's gains were his. Zhao Feng had worked hard in killing the ancient scorpion and taking the poison sac was understandable. After all, Zhao Feng could be considered half a member of the Pure Moon spiritual sect and it was better for the poison sac to fall into his hands than the Black Cliff Palace's. Seeing that Yi Yanyu didn't object, the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace didn't pursue the matter. The body of the ancient scorpion was the size of a small mountain and apart from the precious parts, the remaining flesh was also very valuable. However, it was too big to be carried around. Shwa shwa. Zhao Feng waved his black lotus and took out the 2 green bronze ghost corpses. He let them eat the flesh of the scorpion that had a pure ancient bloodline. Shameless bastard. These 2 green bronze ghost corpses belonged to a disciple of my sect but they were taken by this brat and he even took the flesh of the scorpion. Those from the Black Cliff Palace had ugly expressions as they ground their teeth in hatred towards Zhao Feng. Many of them had flames in their eyes. Zhao Feng was unmoved. He used every method he could think of to increase his strength. After obtaining the poison sac, Zhao Feng's plan became clearer. After eating the flesh of the scorpion, these two ghost corpses will be strengthened and their strength will be comparable to the peak true mystic rank. This poison sac is prepared for these two ghost corpses, and this is just the first step of the plan. Zhao Feng's eyes narrowed as he inspected the two ghost corpses. These two ghost corpses were extremely muscular. Their bronze skin was even darker in color, and there were traces of translucent blood-red runes on their bodies. They opened their mouths wide and gnawed on flesh and blood. Their auras grew stronger and stronger. Compared to them, the Black Cliff Palace's ghost corpses were much weaker and not as good as Zhao Feng's two green bronze ghost corpses. Chapter 404. Different from the other geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace, Zhao Feng only raised the two green bronze corpses, and all the other corpses in the Black Lotus were used as nourishment. On the way, Yi Yanyu led the way and killed many beasts with ancient bloodlines. Zhao Feng's two green bronze corpses absorbed the essence of these beasts, and it could be said that they were extremely nourished. The ancient scorpion contained a pure ancient bloodline, and after the two green bronze corpses devoured its essence, their auras became stronger and their bodies started to change. Apart from Qi Gui's two true lord ranks, none of the other ghost corpses of the Black Cliff Palace could compare to Zhao Feng's two green bronze corpses. The battle power of these two green bronze corpses isn't bad, and if I add the poison from the giant scorpion's poison sac into corpse poison, their damage will increase, and even those at the true lord rank will die if their skin is cut. Zhao Feng took back his gaze and his consciousness went back into the six ghost corpse controlling secret technique. This secret technique had the method to add and refine corpse poison, but it wasn't very important. Zhao Feng originally knew medicine, and with the giant scorpion's poison sac, it wasn't hard to add corpse poison to the green bronze corpses. However, Zhao Feng didn't do it immediately. Although the giant scorpion's poison was strong, after leaving the scorpion's body, the poison would lose some of its activity and its power would decrease. This was the first reason. The second reason. Although the giant scorpion's poison could kill those at the true lord rank, the prerequisite was that the skin had to be cut open and blood was the best. Only then would the poison enter the body. With the green bronze corpse's battle power, it was almost impossible to break through the defense of a true lord rank head-on, especially when the true lord rank was on guard. So, Zhao Feng didn't immediately add corpse poison to the green bronze corpses. Obtaining the giant scorpion's poison sac was only the first step of his plan, and there were more important things to grasp. On the Black Cliff Palace's side, Brother Qi Gui, if that brat adds the ancient scorpion's poison to the green bronze corpses, the threat will be huge. The Black Lotus girl bit her lips, watching Zhao Feng control the two powerful bronze zombies, her heart filled with resentment, fear, and envy. When she first handed over the ghost corpse to him, she probably did not expect this day to come. With these two green bronze zombies, those under the true lord rank couldn't even get close to Zhao Feng. If Zhao Feng had these two green bronze corpses at the sacred True Dragon gathering, he would be invincible and crush Tantan Lanyue's spiritual pets. He's just a newbie who dabbled in the ghost corpse Dao. Ghost corpses can't unleash their true power in his hands. Although the giant scorpion's poison sac was precious, once it left the body, its toxicity would be greatly reduced. Compared to the earthine poison mushroom and a blood glass fruit in the cave, the difference was more than one level. Especially the earthine poison mushroom, it is an excellent treasure for cultivating ghost corpses. Qi Gui remained calm. In his heart, Zhao Feng was invincible under the true lord rank, and only those at the true lord rank could deal with him. Compared to the giant scorpion's poison sac, he was more wary of Zhao Feng's bloodline. Shua shua. Zhao Feng touched the Black Lotus and put away the green bronze corpses. Currently, his two green bronze corpses had reached a certain limit and were facing a big bottleneck. Furthermore, these two green bronze corpses needed to be stabilized due to their rapid growth. Even ghost corpses would have their own intelligence when they reached a certain level. Zhao Feng's two green bronze corpses had a basic level of intelligence, and the increase in strength also required an increase in intelligence. Zhao Feng's method was to use his Eye of Ice Soul to strengthen the green bronze corpse's intelligence. In front of the cave, the three sides reorganized themselves and decided to enter the cave together to take the spoils of war. Everyone, it's all up to your own skill now. The blood-robed True Lord Rank's figure flashed and flew into the cave. Now that the ancient scorpion had been taken care of, there shouldn't be much danger in the cave. The three sides only needed to split the spoils. Relatively speaking, Yi Yanyu and Zhao Feng were at a disadvantage. They had fewer people and the amount of treasures they could take wasn't as much as the other two. Go! Yi Yanyu didn't care and turned into a streak of light with the little thieving cat into the cave. Her cultivation was the highest and her speed was also extremely fast, surpassing Qi Gui and the blood-robed youth. Furthermore, Yi Yanyu didn't even glance at the normal treasures on the way. Surprise flashed through Qi Gui and the blood-robed youth's eyes. So that's how it is. Yi Yanyu's eyes are very high. She doesn't chase quantity, only quality. If she can get her hands on the top few rare treasures in the cave, their value will surpass all the other gains. Zhao Feng couldn't help but understand. Yi Yanyu had her own plan from the start. She was alone, and adding on Zhao Feng, there were only two of them and they couldn't compare to the other two in terms of numbers. Therefore, Yi Yanyu planned to give up most of the ancient treasures and only aim for the top ones. If it was Qi Gui or the blood-robed True Lord Rank, they wouldn't be able to do this. However, Yi Yanyu had the right to do so. Her strength suppressed everyone else, and even Qi Gui and the blood-robed True Lord Rank combined might not be her match. Meow meow. The little thieving cat stood on Yi Yanyu's shoulder and occasionally waved its mystic snake blood whip to grab some top treasures on the way. Both Yi Yanyu and the little thieving cat's eyes were extremely accurate. The speed at which the human and cat took the treasures was extremely fast, and their teamwork made Qi Gui and the blood-robed True Lord Rank panicked. We can't let her succeed. You guys go split the other treasures. We'll go stop her. Qi Gui and the blood-robed youth ordered their subordinates to take the other treasures. So. The two True Lord Ranks quickly chased after Yi Yanyu and fought for the top treasures. This way, the situation became clear. The three True Lord Ranks competed with each other for the top treasures. As for the others, they targeted the middle and high grade, as well as the ordinary precious materials and resources, or picked up the leftovers. After all, the three True Lord Ranks moved quickly, and it was inevitable that they would miss some of the top treasures. Amongst them, Zhao Feng was the one who picked up the scraps. His God's spiritual eye's power was unparalleled and could even find treasures that the three True Lord Ranks missed. Cloak! Zhao Feng suddenly slashed out with an electric blade, splitting open a rock covered in mud. He took out an ink-like pebble and cut open the mud, revealing a brilliant glass-like surface. Sky-marking stone. This sort of mystical ink stone, when crushed into powder and consumed, can strengthen one's bones and body, and can even strengthen corpses and other inanimate objects. The eyes of the geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace lit up and they all went up. Unfortunately, Zhao Feng's speed was too fast and the majority of the sky-marking stones nearby had been taken by him. So. Zhao Feng's shadow cloak shook and his figure turned into several figures that were hard to differentiate under the True Lord Rank. Although he was picking up scraps, he maintained a certain distance from the three True Lord Ranks. He couldn't be too close or too far. If he was too close, he might be hit by the attacks of the three True Lord Ranks. If he was too far, Zhao Feng would miss some opportunities and wouldn't be able to carry out his plan. Another part of the way passed. Shwa! Zhao Feng suddenly cut open a vine in the corner and pulled out a dark azure gourd. Green Spiritual Gourd. This gourd is a unique item for creating interspatial items. It can store all sorts of herbs and corrosive liquids. So it's this kind of gourd. Apparently, a king at the Void God realm placed his Yuan soul in the green spiritual gourd, and 100 years later, his Yuan soul came out and was reborn. Those from the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace stared greedily at Zhao Feng. The geniuses from the Black Cliff Palace were slightly hesitant as they knew how terrifying Zhao Feng's eye bloodline was. "Brat! Hand over the green spiritual gourd." Two of the geniuses from the Moon Demon Palace didn't care about the Pure Moon spiritual sect and leapt towards Zhao Feng. Although the green spiritual gourd didn't have any shocking power and couldn't increase one's strength, it was a rare item and had legendary abilities that gave it a high value. Maybe even sovereigns at the Origin Core realm or Void God realm would be interested in it and want to collect one or two. Eye of Heart. Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye scanned over the two geniuses from the Moon Demon Palace. The figures of the two geniuses were instantly dazed. In the next instant, ding ding boom, the two geniuses started to fight with greed in their eyes. When you're blinded by greed, your emotions start to show flaws. Zhao Feng snickered coldly in his heart. When one's emotions had obvious flaws, even normal true lord ranks could be controlled by Zhao Feng's eye of heart. Zhao Feng put away the two green spiritual gourds and stared at the three true lord ranks in front of him to make sure he wasn't left too far behind. The depth and space of the cave was unimaginably large. From time to time, some giant scorpions, dark snakes, spiders, and even ancient insects and beasts would jump out of the cave. A small number of geniuses would be ambushed and would lose a layer of skin even if they didn't die. Zhao Feng's heart was calm and firm as he maintained a certain distance from the three true lord ranks. His god spiritual eye didn't forget to pick up scraps. Solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew. Walking to a certain place, Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye scanned over the stalagmite above his head. There were a few drops of dew on the stalagmite and moonlight spilled through the holes near it. In such a gloomy mountain cave, where battles rose and fell and dust rose in all directions, it was extremely difficult to notice these few drops of dew. Solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew is born in a place of extreme heat and needs to be cleansed by the sun and moon. It can only be formed after 10,000 years on a rare stalagmite. Zhao Feng couldn't help but feel lucky that he had copied the 10,000 Plants Illustrated Guide back in the Broken Moon clan. From then on, he didn't forget to copy some of the precious plants and insects he went to. Therefore, Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye was able to scan through all kinds of illustrations or written descriptions in his mind. Solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew. Not only can it balance the yin and yang in one's body and consolidate one's cultivation, it can also cleanse one's soul and increase one's mental energy level. The nearby geniuses noticed Zhao Feng's actions and couldn't help but be surprised. What kind of dog shit luck does this brat have to meet good stuff every time? It probably isn't dog shit luck. It should be related to his eye bloodline. The geniuses from the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace almost leapt forward to rob Zhao Feng. Amongst the geniuses present there were one or two who had eye bloodlines, but they couldn't compare to Zhao Feng's insight. Very good, now that I've obtained the solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew, the success rate of my plan has increased. Once my mental energy level increases, my eye bloodline will be able to threaten those at the true lord rank. Chapter 405. The solar lunar sky bamboo dew was much more valuable than the ancient treasures that he had obtained earlier. A rare holy liquid that could cleanse one's soul and raise one's mental state and comprehension ability was extremely rare. Shwa! Zhao Feng quickly took a few drops of the solar lunar sky bamboo dew and carefully placed them into the green spiritual gourd. The green spiritual gourd had a special storage space that had the ability to keep things fresh. Spiritual items would lose their spirituality if placed inside. For example, the poison sac that Zhao Feng had obtained before would lose its poison after leaving its body, but if placed in the green spiritual gourd it would be able to preserve its poison. Solar lunar sky bamboo dew. The value of this item is second only to the blood glass fruit, the earthine poison mushroom, and other top-grade treasures. Bastard, don't even think about taking it for yourself. The geniuses from the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace charged over without fear of death. The green spiritual gourd and sky marking stone that Zhao Feng had picked up before were also top-tier treasures, but in terms of value and use they weren't as good as the solar lunar sky bamboo dew. If I can get 1 or 2 drops of the solar lunar sky bamboo dew to cleanse my soul and increase my comprehension, my chances of breaking through to the true Lord rank will probably increase by 20 to 30%. Several peak true mystic rank geniuses used their secret techniques and charged towards Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng didn't panic as he looked at the sky-een stalagmite above him that still had a few drops of solar lunar sky bamboo dew. Shwa! His figure flashed as he retreated dozens of yards and summoned 2 green bronze corpses to block in front of him. The effect of this mental energy and comprehension increase isn't very good if I use it too many times. A few drops is enough. Zhao Feng wisely retreated and gave up the remaining drops of solar lunar sky bamboo dew. Although he was strong, he didn't want to become the public enemy of these geniuses. There were 6 or 7 peak true mystic rank geniuses here, and most of them were at the late stages of the true mystic rank. Each of them had the battle power of an overwhelming prodigy of the sacred true dragon gathering. I only need 1 drop of solar lunar sky bamboo dew. Those who block me shall die. A total of 7 to 8 Outer Realm geniuses were frantically fighting over the remaining few drops of solar moon heavenly bamboo shoot dew. Zhao Feng controlled the 2 bronze blood-patterned zombies to block in front of him, forcing back a few Outer Realm geniuses who tried to approach him. Of the 3 true Lord ranks, Zhao Feng's strength was the strongest, and just the 2 peak true mystic rank corpses were enough to make most people stop. In the end, in the battle, only 2 drops of Sun Moon Sky Bamboo Shoot Dew survived and were split between Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace. A group fight finally came to an end. The biggest winner was naturally Zhao Feng. In fact, if Zhao Feng wanted to absorb all the Heaven Bamboo Shoot Dew, those people would not be able to stop him, nor would they be able to do anything to him. But if he did that, his strength would be exposed to Yi Yanyu. He gave up a few drops of the Sun Moon Heavenly Bamboo Shoot Dew to preserve a certain amount of strength, in order to plan for a longer-term benefit. However, even though Zhao Feng was purposely low-key, the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace kept their eyes on him for the rest of the journey. This Brat's Eye bloodline is extremely strong. Keep a close eye on him. Both sides made up their minds. A few people even stared at Zhao Feng's eyes and actions. Sometimes, Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye would glance towards a certain place and several geniuses would fight to be the first to dig 3 feet into the ground, searching for treasures. Zhao Feng couldn't help but be surprised. These people really did think of him as the god of fortune. Unfortunately, there were basically no treasures on the same level as the Solar Moon Sky Bamboo Shoot Dew on the rest of the journey. Maybe it was because the 3 true Lord ranks realized their mistake and slowed down their search for resources. After all, a precious holy liquid like the Sun Moon Heavenly Bamboo Shoot Dew was extremely valuable to them. Zhao Feng was too lazy to pick up the weaker treasures and kept a low profile, fading out of everyone's sight. Some of the people staring at him couldn't help but feel disappointed. Some gave up, while others were still unwilling to give up. Of course. The true treasures were mostly split by the 3 true Lord ranks, especially Yi Yanyu and the Little Thieving Cat. Qi Gui and the Blood-Robed True Lord ranks gains combined weren't as good as Yi Yanyu's. Yi Yanyu's cultivation and speed were at a high point, and adding on the Little Thieving Cat's help, she was unparalleled. Little Thieving Cat. You're indeed my lucky cat. Yi Yanyu loved the Little Thieving Cat even more. The only problem right now was that the blood contract between the Little Thieving Cat and Zhao Feng hadn't been broken yet. Qi Gui and the Blood-Robed True Lord rank hated the Little Thieving Cat. The Little Thieving Cat waved its mystic snake blood whip and took all kinds of treasures with great skill. Sometimes, the treasures they had were taken away by the Little Thieving Cat with its whip. This cat was very cunning and often appeared and disappeared like a ghost. Its agility was unparalleled, and people were always on guard. Yi Yanyu was slightly smug as she glanced at Zhao Feng behind her, as if saying that the little thieving cat could only be used to its full potential in my hands. Zhao Feng's expression was dim, but he didn't say anything. At a certain moment, the footsteps of the three true lord ranks paused. The color of the mountain ahead became darker, and at the deepest part was a black hole that was 100 yards wide and gave off a hot feeling. Dozens of young scorpions could be vaguely seen in the pitch-black pit. They were about the size of cats and dogs. Scorpions. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye saw everything clearly in the dark cave. The hearts of the three true lord ranks shook as joy appeared on their faces. There were dozens of scorpions in the black hole. The number was more than they had imagined. Wait. Although there are many young giant scorpions, the color of their armor are exactly the same as the ancient giant scorpions. The number of pure-blooded giant scorpions is extremely small. Zhao Feng concluded with a scan of his god's spiritual eye. There was a great deal of chance in the inheritance of a bloodline. It was not certain that the descendants would be able to inherit a powerful bloodline. Otherwise, bloodline inheritances wouldn't have become fewer and fewer since ancient times, and bloodlines wouldn't have become thinner and thinner. Across the 13 countries, including Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei and company, there were only a few dozen people with a true bloodline. Furthermore, there was only one ancient scorpion in the cave and it had been killed. Therefore, it could only mate with other scorpions and the chances of having a pure-blooded descendant was lowered. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye scanned over and found that there were only 6 or 7 scorpions that looked the same as the ancient scorpion. What was emphasized here was that they were basically the same. Although their appearances were similar, it could only be confirmed that their bloodline was higher and couldn't be 100% confirmed. Ha ha ha. A nest of scorpions. The geniuses from the other realms approached and were excited to see so many scorpions. Everyone go. Even if they aren't pure-blooded, as long as they're descendants of the ancient scorpion, they'll have a bit of the ancient bloodline and will be stronger than normal beasts. Qi Gui ordered. The three true lord ranks leapt forward. Their targets were obviously the scorpions that looked more similar to the ancient scorpion. Zhao Feng maintained his calm and didn't enter the fray. In terms of bloodline purity, the three true lord ranks would definitely fight for it. However, the other geniuses didn't have the ability to fight with the three true lord ranks. Zhao Feng still maintained a low profile and wouldn't fight with the three true lord ranks. His god's spiritual eye not only scanned the area around the black hole but also the nearby cracks. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye could tell if the bloodline was pure or not with just one glance. Scanning every corner and detail, Zhao Feng couldn't help but be slightly disappointed. The further away from the hole, the more obvious the other scorpions were. Putting aside the three true lord ranks, the other geniuses didn't even put them in their eyes. It was a true ancient giant scorpion, and everyone had seen it before. Its entire body was pitch black, and it gave off a metallic feeling. There was no need to consider the other colors. However, Zhao Feng followed the principle of "I'd rather miss it than let it go." He didn't look at the surface and saw every scorpion, including some of the other scorpions. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye locked onto a far corner. It was a young scorpion that was speckled with spots. It was only the size of an infant's palm, and it was hidden within a crack in the mountain wall. Its dark red and ice-cold eyes were revealed, and they were filled with hatred as they stared at everything in the outer sect. From the looks of it, it was an impure scorpion and it was pitifully small. However, the instant Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye locked onto it, he found something unusual. Firstly, this scorpion's intelligence wasn't bad. Although it looked the youngest, it knew how to hide in a crack and even waved its pincers. Secondly, the toughness of the wall was comparable to a peak-tier mortal weapon. How could a normal cave contain so many ancient resources? However, this toughness was dug open by the scorpion's pincers. Finally, Zhao Feng used his god's spiritual eye and saw the bloodline power within the scorpion. It was similar to an ancient scorpion but different. Could it be a mutated scorpion? Zhao Feng's heart moved. Bloodline breeds would mutate and deviate from the original path of bloodline inheritance, or revert to an even older bloodline. For example, there were changeable spiritual bodies. Zhao Yufei and Sun Yuanhao were the representatives of changeable spiritual bodies. Don't worry about that, I'll take it down first. Zhao Feng opened his god's spiritual eye and his mind invaded the scorpion and controlled it. In the end, Zhao Feng encountered a tenacious resistance while trying to control it. This made him happy instead of being shocked. Apart from bloodline talent, mental energy was also an important factor in growth. Shua! Zhao Feng easily controlled the youngling scorpion. His mental energy level was much higher than the youngling scorpion. So, the scorpion flashed and hid in a dark cave. In a few breaths' time, it landed in Zhao Feng's hands. Zhao Feng observed carefully. The spots on the scorpion's surface had disappeared and were replaced by a layer of cold black metal as well as a few dark red spots. The markings on the scorpion's body were even more ferocious and mysterious. What kind of mutation is this? It's so good at disguising. Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he put the scorpion into his spiritual pet bag. Right at this moment, the fight between the three true lord ranks ended and Yi Yanyu was overjoyed. She had obtained 2 of the purest scorpions.
Chapter 406. In a short while, the giant scorpion cub in the pitch-black pit was divided up. The 3 true lord ranks obtained purer scorpion cubs that weren't much different from ancient scorpions. Yi Yanyu had the best gains and obtained 2 purer scorpion cubs. The value of any one of them was higher than the other 2 true lord ranks. This wasn't just because of her strength but also because of the little thieving cat's help. Unknowingly, Yi Yanyu trusted and liked the little thieving cat even more. The blood-robed youth and Qi Gui's expressions were slightly ugly. From the start, they had been suppressed by Yi Yanyu. Especially with the little thieving cat, Yi Yanyu was like a fish in water. After the young scorpions in the pit were divided up, everyone's gazes fell on the scattered young scorpions nearby. All of the young giant scorpions here had more or less a faint bloodline in their bodies. They were at least a grade higher than ordinary demon beasts. Everyone was overjoyed by this. However, there was an exception in the crowd. There was one person who didn't move from the start to the end. That person was Zhao Feng. He seemed to be standing at the same spot, as if he was just watching the show. The scorpion Zhao Feng had obtained was controlled through his god's spiritual eye. The entire process was silent. Who would have thought that he would capture a young mutant giant scorpion without batting an eyelid? Zhao Feng analyzed that the mutated scorpion's bloodline was at least on par with Yi Yanyu's, but its intelligence was higher and its mental energy was stronger. Due to its mutated nature, its potential was hard to estimate. Why isn't this brat moving? Wasn't he always successful before? Wasn't he extremely lucky? The geniuses from the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace looked suspiciously at Zhao Feng. In order to divert attention, Zhao Feng took out the sky-marking stone and crushed it into powder before scattering it onto the 2 green bronze blood-striped corpses. The powder slowly seeped into the corpses and was even absorbed by the bones. This guy's really free to use the sky-marking stone to strengthen the corpses and bones. Scattering the flying ink stones like this instead of being made into a liquid, what a waste. The geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace were envious when they saw Zhao Feng's actions. Zhao Feng was unmoved. He sprinkled the Heaven Scar inky stone evenly on the 2 zombies and activated a wisp of true spirit lightning flame to help the zombies absorb and refine their bodies. Under normal circumstances, the true spirit lightning flame was the bane of zombies and ghosts. However, Zhao Feng only activated a faint true spirit lightning flame, which actually stimulated and accelerated the absorption of the flying ink stones. The Heaven Scar demonic ink stone can strengthen one's bones and physique, but its medicinal power is very domineering.
It can easily destroy one's bodily functions and leave behind hidden injuries. However, if you use it to strengthen zombies and other inanimate objects with skeletons, it will yield twice the result with half the effort. Zhao Feng murmured. Seeing Zhao Feng use a small amount of true spirit lightning flame to refine the corpse, Qi Gui, who was not far away, was surprised. Although Zhao Feng's method seemed crude, it greatly increased the ghost corpse's absorption of the flying ink stones. Under the stimulation of the true spirit thunder flame, the bodies of the two strong and slightly bloated bronze zombies gradually shrunk. They were tall and sturdy, but not bloated. Although the quality of the two ghost corpses hasn't increased, their bones and defense have been strengthened. They can ignore attacks from anyone under the True Lord rank and are almost invincible against those under the True Lord rank. Qi Gui was secretly surprised. After doing all this, Zhao Feng circulated his bloodline power. A layer of ice instantly formed on the surface of the two green bronze corpses and they were put into the Black Lotus by Zhao Feng. First using the lightning flame to refine them and then using the power of ice to stabilize their bones. Qi Gui was more surprised the more he looked. He was even more convinced that Zhao Feng had done all of this by coincidence. How could a youth that had just entered the Tao of ghost corpses know how to refine corpses so quickly? How would he know that the 6 ghost corpse controlling secret technique had been studied by Zhao Feng and he had grasped 40 to 50% of it? The important thing was that Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye seemed to have an innate talent in controlling ghost corpses. Many things were easily understood and could be used naturally. With my bloodline power, I can freeze them for several hours. The bones of these two green bronze corpses will be strengthened in a short amount of time and their grade will also increase. Zhao Feng's consciousness came back from the Black Lotus. Now his two green bronze corpses' battle power was unrivaled against those under the True Lord rank. Zhao Feng guessed that if the two teamed up, they might be able to block the attacks of those at the True Lord rank. Not long after, the 3 True Lord ranks continued on their way. Yi Yanyu didn't pay much attention to Zhao Feng's actions. She disliked these ghost corpses and was too lazy to even look at them. At this moment she was immersed in the joy brought by the little thieving cat. All of this fell into Zhao Feng's eyes and he nodded his head in his heart. The first half of the plan was very successful. Or rather, there were more surprises in the plan than he had imagined. For example, he had obtained the sky marking stone and the solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew. Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he closely followed the 3 True Lord ranks. Suddenly, the mountain wall in front of him gradually shone with a dark luster, and the heaven and earth yuan qi became even denser and more active. Zhao Feng's eyes lit up. It would be hard for such a good environment to not give birth to some top-tier resources. As expected, the figures of the 3 True Lord ranks at the very front paused as joy appeared on their faces. Blood glass fruit. There's indeed a blood glass fruit. As long as I eat it, my cultivation and blood demon reflecting the moon will increase by leaps and bounds. At that time, my strength will be ranked in the top 3 of all the geniuses in the ruins. The blood-robed True Lord rank's body trembled in joy and excitement. The blood glass fruit was extremely effective for cultivators that cultivated the Tao of blood. Even if it fell into the hands of other experts, it would be a treasure that could greatly increase their cultivation. For example, because Zhao Feng had the mental energy level of a True Lord rank, as long as he obtained the blood glass fruit and went into seclusion for half a month, he would definitely reach the True Lord rank. At this moment, they had reached the end of the cave. The mountain wall in front of him was glowing with a dark luster. Every inch of the mountain wall contained an inconceivable spiritual aura and strength. It was worth a fortune. There were more than a dozen ancient treasures on the dark mountain and each one of them was on par with the solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew that Zhao Feng had obtained. Among them, there were 4 or 5 treasures like the blood glass fruit. The blood glass fruit was the size of a fist and had a red glow on its surface. It was plump and gave off a surge of spiritual energy. Zhao Feng stood at the back and quickly scanned over with his god's spiritual eye and soon found the earth-eaten poison mushroom and the life-returning grass. The earthine poison mushroom was a rotten mushroom that wasn't eye-catching and was dark. The life-returning grass was located in a place where the sun and moon intersected. The stalk was about a foot long and glowing green. It emitted a pure and untainted aura of life that made all living beings feel an indescribable sense of intimacy. Earthine poison mushroom. This is a great treasure for ghost corpses. If I can get it, the strength of my 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses will increase by leaps and bounds. Chi Gui suppressed the excitement in his heart. Of the 3 true Lord ranks, only Yi Yenyu's eyebrows furrowed. The environment here was dark and the air of Yin was thick. Most treasures weren't of much use to righteous disciples like her. On the other hand, the life-returning grass can be used to save people in the future and be a second life. If I can get the blood glass fruit, it can also increase my cultivation. Yi Yenyu's eyes twinkled as she discussed with the little thieving cat next to her. Meow meow. The little thieving cat gestured. Good idea. I'll destroy the things that are useless to me. We can't let them succeed. Yi Yenyu smiled and nodded her head. The little thieving cat's plan was extremely vicious. There were more than a dozen top-tier treasures on the wall, but less than a third of them were useful to Yi Yenyu. She couldn't let the other 2 sides benefit so easily. If she couldn't take it, she would destroy it. Destroying was much simpler than obtaining. Go! We can't let that bitch, Yi Yenyu, ruin our great opportunity. The blood-robed youth exclaimed as he exchanged glances with Chi Gui. The instant Yi Yenyu attacked, the other 2 true Lord ranks also attacked Yi Yenyu. Everyone go! The peak true mystic rank elites from both sides also supported Chi Gui and the blood-robed youth. At this critical moment, the 2 sides teamed up against Yi Yenyu. The 2 true Lord ranks from the Black Cliff Palace and Moon Demon Palace had been suppressed by Yi Yenyu, and now they finally exploded. After all, some of the treasures on the wall had the ability to increase one's strength dramatically. This was enough for the 2 true Lord ranks to fight Yi Yenyu. Why can't we sit down and talk? Zhao Feng pretended to sigh and retreated to a corner, showing that he didn't want to fight. His strength was only below the 3 true Lord ranks, and if he didn't fight for the treasures, the others didn't chase after him. In reality, Zhao Feng was looking forward to such a chaotic situation. Chi Gui and Yi Yenyu both noticed Zhao Feng's actions. They originally thought that Zhao Feng would try to fish in troubled waters. However, Zhao Feng sat down in a corner and didn't seem to be moved by the treasures on the wall. It wasn't that Zhao Feng didn't want the treasures, it was that he couldn't interfere and couldn't interfere. The top treasures were all monopolized by the 3 true Lord ranks, and the shockwaves from their battle were enough to kill peak true mystic ranks. More importantly, this was the most crucial moment of his plan. Yi Yenyu, obediently retreat 10 yards and let us take 1 or 2 treasures. The blood-robed true Lord rank waved his blood moon blade and a wave of blood dyed the air red. A giant blood moon could be seen above Yi Yenyu's head and started to erode her. Go! Chi Gui first summoned a true Lord rank silver-striped corpse to fight Yi Yenyu. Black Wicked Eye. The ghastly white light in Crimson Ghost's eyes twisted strangely as a dark dot appeared in the center. Eye bloodline, Black Wicked Eye. Black Wicked Eye, Wicked Spirit Ghost Eye. Chi Gui's Black Evil Eye emitted rings of black light, accompanied by a chilling mental aura that instantly enveloped Yi Yenyu. Zhao Feng's heart jumped as he felt a sharp mental energy hull. His god's spiritual eyes saw numerous ghastly white formless vengeful spirits and souls stretching out their sharp white claws to wrap around Yi Yenyu's body. They were either stabbing, clawing, or licking her as they laughed sinisterly. The scene was like hell. Chapter 407. This was the first time Zhao Feng had seen such a weird and terrifying eye bloodline. Incorporeal wraiths and wraiths stretched out their pale, blood-stained hands and claws to scratch at Yi Yenyu's body. They opened their bloody mouths and licked greedily with their bloody tongues. The scene in front of them was similar to the scene in the 100 Graves Forbidden Ground and made one's hair stand on end. That kind of power was formless and incorporeal, lying between the nothingness of spirit and matter, but it truly existed. Although the naked eye couldn't see this scene, one's body instinctively felt cold and disgusted. Wicked spirit ghost eye. Senior brother Chi-Gue is serious, he actually used this kind of forbidden bloodline eye technique. Once locked on by the wicked spirit ghost eye, even those at the true lord rank might collapse. The victim will be bitten by the ghosts and their blood essence will be devoured. The geniuses of the Black Cliff Palace revealed excited and expectant expressions. Under normal situations, Chi-Gue wouldn't easily use the wicked spirit ghost eye because he would have to pay a big price to do so. Yi Yenyu's eyebrows furrowed as she felt uncomfortable and her battle power was restricted. The screams of countless ghosts and ghosts sounded in her mind which made her heart tremble and she felt like she was going to collapse. The most direct damage was that Yi Yenyu's blood essence was being lost. This eye bloodline technique is indeed terrifying and troublesome. Unfortunately, it needs a dark eye to gather the power of ghosts and use a profound secret technique to activate it. Zhao Feng felt slightly regretful. His god's spiritual eye couldn't copy all secret techniques. Many secret techniques and combat skills were built on special constitutions or bloodlines. For example, Chi-Gue's evil spirit ghost eye was built on his special evil Yin eye. However, Zhao Feng wasn't scared of this wicked spirit ghost eye. His lightning fire god's eye countered most secret techniques of the Black Cliff Palace, including the wicked spirit ghost eye in front of him. At this moment, Zhao Feng was slightly worried for Yi Yenyu. If Yi Yenyu loses, then my plan will have to change and the difficulty will increase by several times. Zhao Feng watched silently and did not participate. In his plan, Yi Yenyu could suppress the two true lord ranks or be on par with them. Humph. The Black Cliff Palace had been passed down for tens of thousands of years, but in the end, they only knew these evil methods. No wonder it's ranked last among the three major sections. Yi Yenyu suddenly snorted coldly. Pure moon heavenly splendor. Yi Yenyu shouted as she opened her arms wide. Her face was slightly raised, looking dignified and holy. In an instant, her entire body emanated expanses of pure and dazzling moonlight and raindrops that swept through an area of 30 m. Everywhere it passed, the darkness melted away, and even some plants and rocks evaporated into thin air, leaving behind a trace of residue. Ah, some of the vengeful spirits and evil ghosts around Yi Yenyu were penetrated and purified by the dazzling moonlight rain, letting out miserable screams. Even the true Lord rank silver-striped skeleton was pushed back as black smoke rose from its body. Yi Yenyu's purifying moon heavenly splendor was a technique that countered the evil ghost Dao to a certain extent, and immediately resolved the crisis. However, at this moment, the blood-robed true lord rank also used a deadly skill. Blood moon devouring spirit. The blood-robed true lord rank's blood-colored robe fluttered without any wind and a blood-colored light formed a large blood moon in the air. The large blood moon twisted and limitless blood-colored moonlight fell down and intertwined with Yi Yenyu's purifying moon heavenly splendor. Not only that. The blood moon twisted and became bigger and bigger until it opened its mouth and locked onto Yi Yenyu. Yi Yenyu's expression changed as an invisible blood path power pulled her toward the bloody mouth. Furthermore, even if the blood moon devouring spirit didn't directly devour living beings, it could still absorb the blood of its target. Humph. This blood moon devouring spirit is a tyrannical forbidden technique that goes against the natural order of things. Originally, it could devour the blood essence of all living beings within a radius of 1,000 feet, but I concentrated it within a radius of a few dozen feet, condensing its power to the extreme. The blood-robed true lord rank snickered coldly. His blood moon skill and Yi Yenyu's purifying moon skill countered each other. Such an attack not only helped Chi-Gue out of his predicament, it also reversed the situation and suppressed Yi Yenyu. Good. Chi-Gue laughed and once again circulated the wicked spirit ghost eye to suppress Yi Yenyu and used the power of the ghost god to corrode her soul and absorb her blood essence. Subtly. The secret techniques of the two true lord ranks didn't interfere with each other. The power of the blood moon and the wicked spirit ghost both had the element of yin and could even complement each other. Brother Chi Gui. We'll help you. Brother Xue Du. Let's take down this bitch together. The disciples of the two sects used secret techniques to help from afar. For example, the Black Cliff Palace sacrificed some ghosts to increase the power of Chi Gui's wicked spirit ghost eye. The geniuses of the Moon Demon Palace poured the chi of the blood moon into the blood moon above their heads to increase the power of the blood moon devouring spirit. Invisibly, the power of the two true Lord ranks' secret techniques increased dramatically and their battle power almost doubled. They could truly suppress Yi Yenyu. Sky Moon 9 slashes. A cold light flashed in Yi Yenyu's eyes as a transparent sword appeared in her hand. Shwa 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 shwa. Swish. 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 The lustrous treasured sword swiftly slashed out, and 8 or 9 dazzling moonlight sword images could be seen with the naked eye. They were lustrous and translucent, as if they were condensed from the moonlight of nothingness, and they carried along a fierce and ghastly aura that could annihilate all living things. Boom! Boom! Every time those moonlight sword shadows slashed out, moonlight rays would soar into the sky. The power was peerless, and the entire mountain would tremble slightly. Crack! One of Chi Gui's true Lord rank skeleton's arms was cut off. The blood moon devouring spirit above his head and the surging bloody light that tainted the void were torn apart, showing signs of instability. That resplendent moonlight sword could cut through all things, and it could even penetrate the mental plane, causing a certain amount of damage to the vengeful spirits and malicious ghosts in the surroundings. Sky Moon 9 slashes. What a terrifying sword skill. Almost every slash could kill a normal true Lord rank. Furthermore, the power of the 9 slashes increases with each slash. Even though Zhao Feng wasn't there, he could still feel the power of the moonlight swords. When the Sky Moon 9 slashes reached the 5th slash, Chi Gui and the blood-robed true Lord rank started to retreat. The ghosts formed by Chi Gui's wicked spirit ghost eye screamed as they died one by one. His eye bloodline was cut off because of this. Shu, the 6th Sky Moon slashed across the air and pushed Chi Gui and the true Lord rank skeleton back dozens of yards. A bloody gash was left on Chi Gui's body and his face was slightly pale. Immediately after, the 8th celestial moon slash's power was shocking. It completely shattered the blood moon devouring spirit above his head, and the bloody light in the air dissipated and was filled with endless moonlight. Wah! The blood-robed true Lord rank spat out a mouthful of blood and a deep gash was left on his body. See. The most powerful and terrifying 9th heavenly moon slash was about to form and end everything. But at this moment, Yi Yenyu's body swayed and her face was slightly pale. Her blood essence and yuan qi were depleted and the 9th sky moon slash wasn't able to form. So that's how it is. Yi Yenyu already found it hard to use the Sky Moon 9 slashes, and after being attacked by 2 true Lord ranks, her blood essence was lost and her soul was injured. She can't use the 9th slash anymore. As the 4th person, Zhao Feng had a clearer grasp of the situation. Hu Chi Gui and the blood-robed true Lord rank felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted off their shoulders. Yi Yenyu still had the upper hand and the Sky Moon 9 slashes had injured 2 true Lord ranks, especially Chi Gui. 3 or 4 of the nearby disciples were killed and most of them were at the peak true mystic rank. Zhao Feng couldn't help but feel lucky that he didn't interfere with the 3 true Lord ranks. In reality, according to the plan, Zhao Feng didn't even plan to attack. He didn't need to do anything. Zhao Feng sat cross-legged on the spot, his eyes twinkling as they returned to normal. At this point in time, the 3 true Lord ranks were in a stalemate and were all injured. They were trying to gain some time to rest and attack. Zhao Feng was a bit bored and took out a drop of solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew and ate it. When Zhao Feng felt as if his mental energy had been cleansed. His mental energy seemed to be bathed in the light of the sun and moon, and it was being cleansed. The solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew could cleanse and strengthen the soul as well as heal mental injuries. Its most unique effect was to increase mental energy and comprehension. After eating the drop of solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew, Zhao Feng felt his mind become clearer and his mental energy level seemed to rise to the next level and wasn't far from the early stages of the true Lord rank. After completely digesting this drop, I'll take another and my mental energy level will be able to stabilize above the early stages of the true Lord rank. Zhao Feng's attention turned back to the battlefield. From the beginning to the end, he sat there like a spectator and had no intention of participating in the final battle. This Brett still has the time to cultivate. Could it be that he's not interested in the blood glass fruit or the earth-eaten poison mushroom? Is he just waiting for a pie to fall from the sky? The geniuses of the two sects looked weirdly at Zhao Feng. Even the three true Lord ranks noticed Zhao Feng from the corner of their eyes. After all, Zhao Feng's battle power was amongst the top below the three true Lord ranks, and if he made a move at the last moment, he could change the situation. However, Zhao Feng continued to sit cross-legged on the ground, unmoving. Right at this moment, the situation changed. Shwa shwa! Yi Yanyu and the little thieving cat moved at the same time and leapt towards the treasures on the wall. Stop her! Qi Gui and the blood-robed youth's expressions changed as they tried to stop her. Shwa! The first was the little thieving cat which disappeared. The instant Yi Yanyu moved, she sent out two sky moon slashes forcing back the two true Lord ranks. Hee, life-returning grass. Yi Yanyu plucked the holy grass of life, which had legendary life-prolonging abilities. Meow meow. The little thieving cat waved its mystic snake blood whip and took away the blood glass sacred fruit that could increase one's strength. My blood glass fruit. The blood-robed youth leapt towards the little thieving cat. The little thieving cat smiled, and while taking away the blood glass fruit, it nimbly landed in front of the earth-eaten poison mushroom and bit down. Stop! Earth-eaten poison mushroom. Qi Gui's expression changed dramatically and he almost went crazy. This was a treasure that could upgrade ghost corpses. However, due to Yi Yanyu's actions, they could only watch as the little thieving cat took away the blood glass fruit and swallowed the earth-eaten poison mushroom. Chapter 408. At this point in time. At the last stage of the fight for treasures, Zhao Feng sat cross-legged and comprehended the benefits of the solar lunar sky bamboo shoot dew. He was indifferent to the battle of wits and courage between the three great forces. Even when the little thieving cat took the blood glass fruit, Zhao Feng's expression didn't change at all. Indifferent. He didn't do anything. He was like a saint who had attained the Tao. His main focus was cultivation and comprehension. Everything else was merely worldly possessions. According to the plan, I don't need to do anything or do anything. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled. From the beginning to the end, he didn't interfere in the fight between the three true Lord ranks. When the little thieving cat swallowed the earth-eaten poison mushroom, Zhao Feng nodded his head. The plan had basically succeeded. However, at this moment, the little thieving cat was in danger. It had taken the blood glass fruit, a fruit that could increase one's cultivation dramatically. This was especially true for the blood-robed true Lord ranks who cultivated the Tao of blood. The blood glass fruit was something they had to get and they were willing to risk their lives. Leave the blood glass fruit behind. The blood-robed true Lord ranks leapt towards the little thieving cat. Damn thieving cat! It swallowed the earth-eaten poison mushroom. Qi Gui trembled in anger. Compared to the blood glass fruit, he wanted the earth-eaten poison mushroom more. He told the true Lord rank skeleton to stop Yi Yanyu while he chased after the little thieving cat himself. Thieving cat, watch out! Yi Yanyu revealed a worried expression. The two true Lord ranks left her behind and leapt towards the little thieving cat. The little thieving cat couldn't get close to Yi Yanyu and could only run in the opposite direction. And that direction was none other than Zhao Feng. Meow meow. The little thieving cat flashed and charged towards Zhao Feng, who was sitting cross-legged. Little thieving cat. Yi Yenyu's heart moved and she didn't stop it. This was the time to test the little thieving cat's loyalty. Shwa! The little thieving cat landed on Zhao Feng and suddenly disappeared. Brat! Hand over that cat! The blood-robed true lord ranks and Qi Gui leapt towards Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng was shocked. This was the combined attack of two true lord ranks, and not just normal true lord ranks either. He wouldn't be able to take it. In other words, the little thieving cat's actions had caused the original owner, Zhao Feng, to be killed. I see. Yi Yenyu smiled, revealing a look of relief. You thieving cat, you actually want to borrow their hands to get rid of me? Zhao Feng was enraged. He grabbed the little thieving cat by its ears and threw it away. His reaction could be said to be timely. He had seen through the thieving cat's trick. Whoosh! The little thieving cat was thrown away, but the mystic snake blood whip was still wrapped around the blood glass fruit. Leave the blood glass fruit. Thieving cat! I want to use your corpse to refine a ghost corpse. The blood-robed true lord rank and Qi Gui charged towards the little thieving cat with cruel expressions. Little thieving cat! Yi Yenyu immediately chased over to save the little thieving cat and fought with the two true lord ranks. And Zhao Feng. He sat cross-legged on the ground as if he didn't do anything. Looking at the current situation, Yi Yenyu and the little thieving cat had the absolute advantage. The blood glass fruit and life-returning grass had both been taken by Yi Yenyu, and even the earthine poison mushroom had been eaten by the little thieving cat. Success! Zhao Feng looked at the chaotic situation and checked several interspatial items. Soon. In one of the interspatial bracelets, Zhao Feng saw a rotten poisonous mushroom. Earthine poison mushroom. Success! Zhao Feng's face was filled with joy. So, the earthine poison mushroom was Zhao Feng's true target. Under the current situation, if Zhao Feng had to choose between the blood glass fruit and the earthine poison mushroom, he would definitely choose the earthine poison mushroom. The earthine poison mushroom is a treasure of ghost corpses. Even true lord rank ghost corpses can use it to increase their rank, and even Qi Gui would go crazy for it. Once I get it, my green bronze ghost corpses will definitely reach the true lord rank. Zhao Feng suppressed the excitement in his heart. Furthermore, the effect of the earthine poison mushroom wasn't just that. This mushroom was also one of the ingredients for creating poisons. The earthine poison mushroom and the giant scorpion's poison sac can create a lethal poison. When my green bronze ghost corpses reach the true lord rank, the poison from these two will be much more useful than me. A light flashed in Zhao Feng's eyes and he couldn't help but take a deep breath to calm himself down and suppress his excitement. He had started this plan from the moment he saw the ancient scorpion. Firstly, the ancient scorpion's poison could kill a true lord rank and there was almost no chance of survival. This poison was extremely powerful. When Zhao Feng wanted to add this poison to the green bronze ghost corpses, he had also considered the poison sac's toxicity. More importantly, the green bronze ghost corpse's rank wasn't high enough, and even with the scorpion's poison sac, it couldn't threaten a true lord rank. Therefore, the most important thing was the earthine poison mushroom. The earthine poison mushroom can increase the ghost corpse's strength and make up for the poison sac's loss. The most important step in Zhao Feng's plan had been completed. Now, he had obtained the earthine poison mushroom. Think about it, a true lord rank ghost corpses with a poison that could kill even true lord ranks. What kind of damage would that have? Shwa! Zhao Feng took advantage of the chaos and put the earthine poison mushroom into the black lotus. He didn't choose the blood glass fruit but the earthine poison mushroom because he had another advantage. Once Zhao Feng used the blood glass fruit and reached the true lord rank, Yi Yenyu would be wary and wary. At that time, it would be hard for him to stay in the Pure Moon spiritual sect for long-term benefits. Furthermore, after using the blood glass fruit, Zhao Feng would need to go into seclusion for half a month before he could reach the true Lord rank. In this dangerous Purple Saint ruins, where would there be that much time for Zhao Feng to go into seclusion? Going from the late stages of the true mystic rank to the true Lord rank wasn't a single step. Therefore, the difficulty of obtaining the blood glass fruit was too high. Zhao Feng gave up on this idea. Materials like the earthine poison mushroom are useless to Yi Yanyu. Even if the little thieving cat takes it, it won't attract her attention. After all, the little thieving cat eats all sorts of resources like crazy. An arc appeared on Zhao Feng's mouth. At this moment, who would have thought that he would get the earthine poison mushroom without doing anything? Qi Gui thought that the earthine poison mushroom had been digested in the little thieving cat's stomach. Even Yi Yanyu was no exception. The little thieving cat approached Zhao Feng, and the instant it disappeared, it put the earthine poison mushroom into Zhao Feng's interspatial bracelet. The little thieving cat had this ability when it was just born. At that time, Zhao Feng had a headache because many resources had been eaten by the little thieving cat. But at the critical moment, the little thieving cat's ability was useful. Within the Black Lotus, Zhao Feng used his god's spiritual eye to see the situation inside. The two green bronze blood-striped corpses were covered in a layer of ice and were motionless in a dark space. Two ghost corpses and one earthine poison mushroom. It's more than enough to raise one to the true Lord rank, but it's a waste. Zhao Feng fell into deep thought. After thinking for a while, he split the earthine poison mushroom in half and gave it to the two green bronze corpses to eat. This way, the earthine poison mushroom's power could be fully unleashed. With the strengthening from the sky marking stone, half the earthine poison mushroom can barely raise the ghost corpses to the 80% true Lord rank. Zhao Feng calculated. If he hadn't gotten the sky marking stone and strengthened the bones of the two green bronze corpses, Zhao Feng would definitely focus on one. But now, he decided to strengthen both at the same time. After all, in order to kill those at the true Lord rank, the poison needed to be added into it. Soon, the two green bronze blood-striped corpses ate the earthine poison mushroom. The earthine poison mushroom was indeed worthy of being a treasure for ghost corpses. After the two corpses ate it, the air of rotting corpses rose from their bodies. Within the Black Lotus, the aura and strength of the two corpses could be sensed rising. The aura of the two ghost corpses seemed to break through the limits of the true mystic rank and reach the quasi-true Lord rank. In just 2 to 3 days, the strength of these two ghost corpses will be comparable to the true Lord rank. At most, they'll be 1 to 2% weaker. At that time, I'll add the giant scorpion poison to them. Hee, I'm looking forward to it. Zhao Feng's consciousness left the Black Lotus. At this moment, the battle between the three true Lord ranks had come to an end. Yi Yanyu and the little thieving cat had taken at least half of the treasures and destroyed 1 or 2 resources that were useless to them. Even if they couldn't take them, they could still weaken the other side. If the earthine poison mushroom that the little thieving cat ate fell into Qi Gui's hands, his battle power would increase dramatically. Therefore, from Yi Yanyu's point of view, the little thieving cat had destroyed the earthine poison mushroom and weakened the other side's chances of becoming stronger. Qi Gui was filled with hatred and unwillingness. If he could get the earthine poison mushroom, he could at least raise one of his ghost corpses to the late-stage true Lord rank. One had to know that of the 10 true Lord ranks that entered the ruins, only 3 had reached the late-stage true Lord rank or higher. Unfortunately, the earthine poison mushroom, a peerless resource that could upgrade ghost corpses, was eaten by the little thieving cat. At the same time on the other side, the blood-robed true Lord rank gritted his teeth in hatred. The blood glass fruit was taken by Yi Yanyu. If Yi Yanyu ate the blood glass fruit, although it wouldn't have the best effect, it would at least increase her cultivation. However, Yi Yanyu obviously didn't have the intention to eat the blood glass fruit immediately. In this environment, where would she find the chance to go into seclusion? She had just been attacked by the 2 true Lord ranks and her mind was injured. Yi Yenyu had paid a heavy price to suppress the two true lord ranks. At the same time, the little thieving cat's help played a huge role. Not long after, the precious materials and treasures on the dark, glowing stone wall were all divided up. On the other hand, Zhao Feng. From the beginning to the end, he sat on the spot and didn't participate. The geniuses of the three forces inspected Zhao Feng weirdly. At this point in time, Zhao Feng had absorbed most of the solar-lunar sky bamboo shoot dew, and his mental energy level wasn't far from the early stage true lord rank. Finally, he stood up. Goddess Yi. Zhao Feng found Yi Yenyu. What is it? After a tough battle, Yi Yenyu's mind was injured and her face was slightly pale. I want 2 drops of the elixir of life from the life-returning grass, or half of it. Zhao Feng said emotionlessly. What? Yi Yenyu suspected that she had heard wrong. She had risked her life to obtain the legendary life-replenishing grass. This fellow had been sitting there the entire time, not doing anything at all. But now, he was asking for half of it. You're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.